boglins, I couldn't tell. But something happened on the Tripod Trail. Giants and dragons are corrupting us all. If we don't get help, we will all go to hell. Did you hear the news out of Wayback Cave? A big holder tried to make us their slaves. My players trying to control our brains. I just woke up and the village was razed. We need the Stronghold to protect us for the night. We need the Stronghold to help us with this fight. We need the Stronghold. We need the Stronghold to go searching through the game. We need the Stronghold. We need the Stronghold. It's been a week since we saw day. A mighty group of adventurers. They're heavy just hell, but they may be mad enough to get us through this spell. When they are together, they are the Stronghold. We are the Stronghold. We're here to show you the way. We are the Stronghold. We might just have to save the day. We're just a group of heroes, yeah. We're big and we're small. We may not be the best in town, but we answer the call. When we are together, we are the Stronghold. Zappity.
All right, we're back. We're going to kick this thing off. The Citadel Felbarr, where the party silvery barbs the crap out of me and at the Rune Gate. Let's see. Before we get started, I always kick things off with the we've got 988 charity button on there. If you're feeling charitable, I say it comes from the heart. So if you don't have it, you can support it in other means. And if you can't, click the button and donate. You can proliferate the message for the folks that are on the other side of these phone lines via text or voice. When you reach them, it's basically a suicide awareness, mental health awareness hotline. They've got a myriad of different counselors that you can reach out to, very specialized as well, and get you pointed in the right direction if you're having a bad day or if a loved one is having a bad day. So if you got the bandwidth and you're watching and you want to hit this, we broke 500. Probably about 2 months of running the charity, so we're going to keep it going, and see when we reach 1,000. Maybe I'll play without my shirt on or something like that. We'll see what happens. Just fine.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Devil Toad.
And the followers go away. So let's, Skylar, do we have anything? Any
no,
big updates?
I just want to say we actually gained a follower from that, so there you go.
Oh, nice.
Coincidentally, I had blasted my announcements in Discord, so if you see an uptick, let's just say it was because of that comment. 100%. We want to see you shirtless.
We got moving on. We got next weekend, DM Pete is throttling us in the frozen north, and that'll be DM Pete's last session for about a month or so. We're gonna take a break, as our last session will be June 2nd, the 21st. June 2nd will be the last session. We'll take about 4 or 5 weeks off as my family and I move to Texas and set up a new studio, maybe even a prettier garage. We'll see what happens. But let's get started here. Start playing some Dungeons and Dragons. Everybody who was here last session, roll a d20. Ooh, it got quiet. Oof, here we go.
I got a 16.
Don't say he hasn't said high or low yet. Shh.
We're gonna go low on this one.
I can't change my answer. What does it matter?
We're gonna go low. Anybody 5 or below? You got? You got it?
Yeah, this is gonna be rough.
Okay, let's go. So what happened last session? Hey, now, so the way we could do this, just cage the last sesh.
We got to so this
There was a firefight.
There was a firefight.
Oh, there was a firefight
With some giants. And we had to get into this structure here.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple giants in there, and I believe Charm had one of the giants run out as there was another one running in,
Yeah.
and that's
That's all you got? Oh no.
It was honestly a fever dream of a fight. In all fairness, you know,
All right.
Quinn's
It was
defense.
weird.
So we
It was
could go
weird.
we could go through the first bit. There was a huge discussion about the Demon Scroll. We then made it to the Hawk's Nest. There was lots of issues with hippogriffs, and people managed to heal some hippogriffs because they really wanted to heal the hippogriffs. We then managed to basically, they said to about that we need to stop. We went out to find the salaries for all the Sunderbar dwarfs. So we went out to save them, and then we found that Felbarr had been attacked by fire giants, and we went out. We hatched an amazing plan to leave the ring backwards a little bit, but then the DM just stole that from us and took it somewhere else, even though the plan was amazing. It happens, and then Pwen nearly died hundreds of times if it wasn't for all the party members saving him. That's basically all I remember.
that was pretty good.
You know, awarded zero inspiration, but the glove save by the other DM. Well done. All right, so that's fine. That's fine.
Well, you can't forget about
Well,
you can't forget about the naked woman with the black skin and the white hair that was in there. That
And the frost giant turning up.
yeah.
Yep, and the
Yep.
portal, the portal was a big one.
I'll jump into the last scene, right? So you guys broke into, you cross kind of the rubbled ruin gate, right? You're thinking a giant avalanche coming down this, 3,000, 4,000 foot forested, mountain, right? And you just broken timbers and everything just kind of laying down as dwarves do when their citadels are being attacked. The easy button is just collapse the gate. As Felbarr, if you track the lore, this has happened like 9 times with poor Felbarr. But so you guys arrived there, and you get the sense that they have these Vonin rods, right? And they're attracted to the device you guys had in that wagon. And you guys rolled up, and the dude was basically just pointing at you guys as you guys came to him. You guys fought that possessed fire giant. And something occurred where there's a deal between that drow and the fire giant. Whoop, they portaled out. They booped out of there. Right before Charmed took my last big hitter and you used suggestion, I think, at a higher level, scrambled his brains. He ran out naked and straight into the axe of a frost giant. The frost giant, is just, amongst other giants, this dude's pretty big. And I'll go right into the scene. A towering frost giant and frost-covered plate mail, his head adorned with the skull of a white dragon, a jagged great axe resting on his shoulder. It's obviously like covered in blood from a hill giant that is decapitated behind you guys as you guys are at this gate. He goes into one last statement, and then we'll kind of pick it up from there, because this is where we left off. You guys are at the same spell slots. No rest, no whatever. You're still probably in the tree line. Sonya's in the tree line. There's a bunch of dead, the yak folk. They're like, they look like the size of miniatures. They're just like laying over the edge of the ramparts. You can't cut the horns from a miniature. Sorry, that's Natalie Portman. So they're hanging off the edge there, and there's just a bunch of bodies laying around. So this big dude, he comes running up, pretty intimidating for a giant when you've got a, skull of a dragon as your helm, right? So he runs up, and he's just like in a very non-pulsed, voice. I've been content killing my evil kin, but it's to seek guidance from the Allfather. We must go to the spine of the world, to an ancient temple built by my ancestors. They will seek guidance from the Oracle. off now to the valley of Kurdun, right? He says these things. It was a much better voice last time. I'm not there yet. Maybe a couple more zins.
It was great.
And
It was great.
we'll be there. We'll be there. So he's sitting there leaning over, and I want to just remember who was outside. Sonya, you're still hidden. Quaddle, you're still hidden as this is kind of going on. You ran in though, didn't you?
I did run.
Yep. So you turn around and you're looking straight down at this guy. I would say, from what I remember, Point ran in and gave that roaring speech to the dwarves that are probably under 600 feet of rock in front of you. So, but it was a great speech. So we're gonna say maybe they heard. I'm not sure. I got to work through
If they didn't hear
the
it,
plot.
if they didn't hear it, it's fine. I'll just have a go at that.
It echoes off the mountains. It was super epic. Anyways, there he is. Yeah. Boop boop beep boop. You know, I'm Harshnag. I'm looking down at you, and he's like, "So you don't remember what happened last session, huh? That sucks." So you don't remember me? Just yeah. So he looks down. We'll say Mirren's off playing with the ichor of the Yucklaw that just melted into the ground. So Mirren's busy trying to figure out drow stuff. But he kind of looks down at you. He's like, you seem like a man of a few words. Me too. Yeah. What are you guys on about? Yeah, so he gives the speech and he basically lets you know that you're getting from your passive perception. He just chopped the head off a hill giant, and he's talking about killing his evil kin, right? So kind of strange. Frost giants are pretty evil dudes as well. Pretty high spectrum, far right spectrum of like barbarian mindsets. Like the Uthgards kind of being bastards. This Frost giants are generally not chill, but this guy seems to have a glimmer of goodly intelligence in him. But what's up, putting you on the spot yet again?
Okay.
He passes this off, and we'll say Blandina, you as well. You both are sitting there as he sits up, and you can feel the cold wind from the frost giant, just kind of an aura about him, this kind of kind of feel good energy.
Why he's turning against his brothers?
I've been against giants for over 200 years. And he's just like, I've just left the Well of Dragons to fight alongside Citadel Felbarr and the Felbarr Brigade. I've left them behind at the Grey Peak Mountains. I was a member of Force Grey, Waterdeep. I've been employed as a mercenary for the Lord's Alliance for probably 30, 40 years. He gives you his cat card. He's you check the front and back. Organ donor. Interesting.
Organ donor, dude. Amazing. That's amazing.
James Franco, corrective lenses. Yeah. And he kind of just looks around and he surveys what looks like a collapsed quarry from where the fire gaunt was digging into the Rune Gate.
Did you come across the ring up down the road?
Two drow took what looked like two oxen with helmets, and he kind of looks into a portal.
They've crossed the line now. They've taken our oxen.
That was
Not
Daryl
just
and
anybody's
Daisy.
oxen, from what I remember. I fought alongside the barbarian / warlock, maybe god. Was that Daisy and Daryl?
Yeah.
It was.
That's that dude's car.
That's that dude's car.
And he's got in his hands an unconscious prospector, and he just lays him on the ground. He's like, I was able to get you his cowboy hat, and he's sitting there and his eyes are a bit googly, and you could see he's on about 2 hit points left. He's like, his backpack's switched around to the front, and he's turning himself. He's fixing himself. Oh, you got it? Yeah, just hit the refresh button.
Well,
He's like, I was just sitting there and everything went to the dark. It was dark. Woo-wee. I felt all these, and he pulls out like this dart that's in his, you know what I mean? He's like, then I was sleeping like a baby, and then I was in his arms.
so what did we come up here for then? Like, seems like we just traveled across this entire only to lose everything in the end. What do you know what that rod? Do you know what that ring was?
Dramatic. He's like, I'm unaware, and he kind of like.
We found out what it was last. The mage told us it was part of a
right, part of a construct. But what is this construct? Like, we have
all I saw
pull out
was
these
spheres of
rods.
darkness.
Like, we've got like 15 rods of Vonendod. Like,
he's like, there's a lot of questions unanswered. It appears the ordning is broken. No longer are the storm giants in control, keeping everyone in check. It appears that the fire giants, as they always do, are going to try to take the ordning for themselves, or at least take advantage of not being in check.
May I ask?
Yep.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. The Eye of the Allfather will have our answers. He's like, you get the sense that, he's kind of on the barbarian end of the spectrum, and, getting to the Eye of the Allfather and speaking to the Oracle of, I think, I always forget his name. Is it Anam is the dude that's the highest? Yeah. Anam will give us the answers.
I have to ask, being on the spectrum myself, I have to ask, as an ice giant in all this, do you feel like the storm giants should have the rightful claim? Have they been treating the system of your hierarchy with a just hand? And if not, who do you think should be? I only ask because I happen to dabble in helping systems of government regain their structure, for a democratic point of view.
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, is it King Stormwald? I haven't been. Hang on. I think his name's Stormwald. Is that right, Pete?
No, Jarl Stormborg is the
King Hecaton. He's like, he just lets you know, he's like, King Hecaton was the storm giant who held reign over all giants. Location unknown somewhere in the deeps of the ocean, but it appears that he is no longer king.
Do you want him to be king?
Serve the order. Things were lawful and maintained. The giants were stayed in check since the Draco Rages. I just came from the south, from the Grey Peak Mountains, where stone giants attacked the Felbarr Brigade coming north to Felbarr. I believe, and he points at this collapsed cave, I believe that, there's the dwarves inside this mountain are in great peril.
How does one lose power being king, and how does one get it back in your culture?
It's obviously no longer present. We'd have to find out.
Did he have any heirs?
Anam, yeah, he's just like, Anam gave the power to the storm giants to maintain the ordning. It appears we'd have to go find out. For some reason, Anam's favor is no longer with the ordning.
Did the great king Hecaton have children?
Reached over here.
Children who might have an ulterior motive in perhaps a system. I don't know your systems, but I find it curious. In many cultures, the right of raising oneself involves the death of another. Not uncommon where I'm from, unfortunately.
In my tribes, it's different. Whoever's the strongest. But maybe in the Storm Giants, there is a bit of a, I don't know, not nepotism. I don't know. What word am I looking for? He's a frost giant. It's like the eye of the Allfather.
I was like,
it has.
let's all say this together. The eye of the Allfather holds all the answers.
Yeah, we got. He's like, that's where I'm going. He's like, I'm going to seek answers. The questions I'll ask is, where's King Hecaton? Why is the ordning broken? And try to reestablish these things. Obviously, with the dragons.
I'll walk up to this and say, look, I understand that the Allfather is somewhere we obviously can go at some point, but these dwarves need help now. The more we stand around here chatting and just chewing the fat, we're not saving these dwarfs.
He's like, I don't think we're getting in there. As a frost giant, if you were around during the Battle of the Silver Marches or the war, once this thing's collapsed, there's no getting in there. But unless you have a fire gaunt, but we could keep trying.
Oh, what? Sorry.
A fire gaunt. The dead. You know what I mean? Like he looks at that a smoking heap of a giant behind you guys that you guys killed last session. That weird.
Oh, they're like a spellcaster shaman type.
I'm not sure. And he's got an axe. He's like, we could start digging. He may have been close.
We'll go and look at what he was trying to break through and see how much damage he did.
Okay. Oh, the fire gaunt?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Make a you can do a check.
Does this
survival?
class as,
You can use survival. Yeah.
but also does it class as, because I got stone cutting because I'm a dwarf? Does it
That's
give
fine.
me
You can add, it's Dungeons and Dragons. So you know what I mean? Like if there's something that you could skew towards making it happen and make it work during RP, then man, it's awesome. For the rest of you guys, you're now looking at a big, a runescape, of an avalanche that covered this thing. Think of a massive landslide was let loose, and it goes like all the way up to the top of this peak, where you see just like, like a slide, where this was deliberately done to collapse these things. If you look behind you, there's like almost like a canyon that goes into the rune gate, so that anybody trying to get into it is going to take, defilade fire all the way up to it. You're at a point where it's been collapsed so far that you wouldn't know exactly where, because as you watch where the canyon goes into this thing, it does snake a bit. So the opening could actually be like way over here or over there. He was just digging at the side of the mountain. And the more you think about it, they were just waiting for you guys to kind of arrive. Whatever device that was critical to whatever was going on. What's that? Oh, Kai just ripping them? Sorry. My dog's just the worst, man. Like Kai is just living his best life over there, He's so comfortable because you're here. He's like, I love Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice.
So,
right,
dog farts.
23 on my survival.
All right. So you with your stone cutting, you get the sense that, and you're from Mithril Hall?
Yes.
Okay. You know that during the War of the Silver Marches, Felbarr it was lost a couple of times. You know that they probably perfected, closing these things off in case the orcs come back or enemy come back. You get the sense it's probably pretty hopeless to open this door unless all of the dwarves come back together and recraft another gate. But you do remember that there are certain chimneys. Someone who collapsed this probably was at the top of the mountain, and that that there are certain places that you can enter it if you're savvy enough. That being said, of, like, just from talking in the taverns and in the Mithril Hall, where there might be a few of these potential chimneys at the top of the mountain.
I'll explain that to the guys and sort of go, there's no way we're getting in there. There are alternate exits, alternate entrances, or some chimneys. I wonder if it's unusual that they would actually have an area that's shut down and there's no other alternative ways in or out.
I'm just a consultant, Plant, but I'm here to support you. It seems that you have after your speech, it's very obvious you have a very strong emotional bond to this place. You have whatever I can give you to help.
Do I know any
Thanks for the
history?
support, Anti-Tan.
2 seconds, mate.
Could we get word to the Citadel, to the Felbarr Brigade, that Citadel Felbarr has...
if you're saying this out loud, he's like, they're defending Loudwater right now against Stone Giants. Stone Giants have cut the south off. They've cut them off completely. He's like, they're in command by a general, and we don't know what's going on inside this citadel right now. I don't know how many dwarves are in here.
My machine just crashed again.
No.
It happens. Discord's being wonky too. I can hear like some voice issues. It's all good.
They're onto us.
Poison. You're sitting there as well. We'll say Poison, then Sanya, in terms of just like going around, because I've picked on everybody else. But Poison, is there anything that you're up to? You guys just left Hawk's Nest. You guys were put on a hey, go find this money, get it to Sundabar, and you guys wanted to go to Felbarr to check this thing out. You're kind of your feelings are like kind of torn between. You get the sense that you're on the forward edge of where giants are starting to mess with the world, right? Like if Felbarr falls, Sundabar falls, like now Silver Moon's, you know what I mean, gonna start getting hit. Like you're at this is where it's happening right here. What's going through Gwyn's mind?
Right, which only further makes me more concerned that we've been 10 steps behind the giants, it feels, and we need to find a way to one up them and get ahead of the game, so that way if we can kind of get down the pattern of like what they're doing, we can try and get ahead of them and try to stop them in their tracks. But I know it's not going to be as easy, cut and dry as that sounds. It's always easier in theory. But I would say at the current moment, I would say my first thought currently at the moment is, what are we going to do about the dwarf situation? That would be something that comes to mind, the first thing at least. So I do share Puent's concern about the dwarves and how this gate is smashed and that they're kind of stuck. And I would love to help him, and I do support him as best as humanly possible. However, if what the Frost Giant, our new acquaintance, says is true, and that we would need one of those other guys, it's now a smoldering heap to try to get through this, I can only hope that there is an alternative path that these people who are stuck can take and find safety in. But I will say the other thing that is currently going through Gwyn's mind, aside from that, is that he is, for the first time, he is stunned to see a frost giant. He has only ever heard about frost giants. He has never actually met a frost giant. So I would say he's also kind of, aside from his concerns, he is also really excited to actually see a frost giant at that. That's also not trying to kill him right now. So he is kind of excited to see this amazingly well put together character, and he's just like, oh my god, like this is so cool. I've never seen this. I've only read about these in the books. I'm geeking out over this. So he's kind of excited to see this frost giant and how epic he looks, but at the same time, Gwyn does look to Blandina and to Histofer and so on and the others, and expresses his concerns that if we are to really put a dent in these giants and their plans and so on. We have to find a way to be, ahead of the game. We have to be at least one step, ahead of them, because if not, they're going to just keep us at a distance, and we're gonna get left behind, and then a lot of damage is going to be done. So I do express those concerns to the rest of the group, while at the same time trying not to geek about the giant frost giant over here that's next to him. So
Oh, we got him back.
Yay!
I love how the cameras automatically like shift in. That's really cool. Good job, Skyler. Magic. I don't even want to know how you do it. Just magic. Thank you. Okay. Well, you see Harshnag. He kind of just, well, it seems that you guys are here with a giant problem as well. He's not really aware of what your guys' orders are, and he's like, that's where I'm going. I was going to rest at Felbarr and then head through the spine of the world. And he just kind of flops down, against the wall, and just starts takes a stone and just starts cleaning his axe off, picking hair and just viscera from the hill giant. And he just kind of looks at it, and you can see that he puts a notch next to other giants kind of on his axe, and just kind of looks at it, and just you can see him staring at his kill, and just kind of you can see he's kind of a little bit psyched about it. There's a bit of a barbarian side to him, but he's just kind of cooling down.
I was. Oh, sorry.
Yep. Yeah, so Sonya, you've been in the woods. You're kind of watching this happen. You're sitting back there. You were hidden. You're watching boom, 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 boom. This thing runs up, and you hear him kind of just echoing off the walls, talking to these people. He's got a cacophonous voice, when he speaks up with his first speech, and then he dials it back down. People are talking, and he kind of sits down. What would you like to do?
I'll edge out and join everybody, because obviously there's these kind of be part of everything again now.
Yep.
As with Gwen, I'm kind of in awe of this humongous creatures in front of me. I've never seen a giant this close, and
Yep.
I just
I'll say he sees your guys' stares, and you can tell he's used to that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he just kind of shrugs and yeah, I'm a giant. I get it.
So all the other giants that we've come across have attacked us. So, thank you for your assistance in the.
Yeah, it
other
just
one.
didn't fit me well. I don't mind the nomadic ways of my people, but I didn't like the wholesale slaughtering. That was one of the reasons I left. I'm not very good on Force Gray. You know what I mean? But fill in your backstory as it is. If anybody is worldly, I think where Gwyn, are you from the city? Are you is anybody from Waterdeep in their backstory? I would say Hiss, you've heard of Force Gray. You've heard of them before the, what are they called? The Duchy of Skyreach showed up on Force Gray was actually tasked in the last campaign to go assist. They were able to convince Waterdeep to use Force Gray to fight against Tiamat.
Good to know.
As to your question, I would say, I haven't really thought about that. The only thing that I thought about was that I knew Gwyn came from a temple that worshipped Paylor, and that he was sent out to help people across the realm. So I would say because of the way he looks in the intro, where he's kind of got this darkish kind of skin, I guess it would be fitting if it was, say, from Waterdeep, I guess you could say, which would be kind of cool, because it would fit with the kind of the gloomy look that he has. But he, I guess, wants to kind of be more of a brighter character in a darkened place,
I got you. So he seems, just so you guys know, you can do a check on him, but he's just kind of sitting there. Normally, you know what I mean? Sonya, if you want to do a quick perception check, that's fine as well.
I will say that Gwyn will go up to the Frost Giant and tell him that he admires his battle prowess that he saw earlier, and that he thanks him for his advice and his help, currently at the moment and so on. And he hopes that this kind of help will continue and all that stuff, and that there will be some good that can be done and some help can be done.
You're trying to like friend him, you know what I mean, a lot, and he just kind of
Yeah.
looks at you and just like nods, you know what I mean. He's like, you know what I mean, like.
Just like,
I get it.
yeah.
He's like anybody that does that kind of damage on fire giants, like you guys are, the more heads I can split of them, the better, especially these fire giants. Sonya, do a did you do you can either do a perception check or just do an overall
25 perception.
Yeah. Yep. So you go back and you remember your uncle? Is Connor your uncle?
Yeah.
Like you've heard him as he was coming up trying to be, the next John Wick. You heard some tales about Force Gray, and it's like, oh wow, like I had, some people have this dude's baseball card. Like he's a big deal, but he kind of stays, he's not like big charismatic by any means. He's just like he was the muscle for Force Gray. Let's see here. Do a what's your passive perception, Quaddle?
Is 13.
Okay. Okay. But other than that, there you guys go. You're sitting there. There's some gear laying around from when that dude portaled out. There's some sacks and some you see like some sacks and what look like 2 strong boxes. Where that fire giant like booped out like real fast, like he didn't take what was with him.
You guys want to crack these strong boxes?
Absolutely, and if we could take a long rest, I could use some time to copy some more spells, and I'm gonna need I've got some exhaustion before I need to get rid of before we head north.
Okay. You guys wanna rest here?
I could crack that chest with a hammer.
Yep. You get the sense that these appear to be like not fire giant sized chests. They look like, you know what I mean? Like with your passive perception, these are probably the chests that contain the wages for Sundabar. But if you wanna
money,
you gonna crack it open?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it nicely. I won't hit
Okay.
it with my hammer.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
got
you
this.
can go
I
ahead. Okay, you're gonna save the locks. All right.
Yeah.
Anya walks up.
We
She's
want to
gonna
be able
grab
to lock
the.
it again, Let's
Yep,
smash
go ahead
it.
and use your thieves tools. Threes were
Right,
good.
proficiency.
Yeah.
17.
The first one when you open, you open it up, and it's just full of silver pieces. Stacked, you know what I mean? They're rolled up. It's just not just a pile of stuff. It's rolled, and it's got a note on the inside of it. Like an envelope.
Read the note.
Um,
Is it sealed?
Yep. So you open it up. It's from the High Marshal of Silvery Moon, and it's basically, your wages and support for the rebuilding of Sundabar in this time of, strife. We're so sorry for the loss and the abandonment that you feel in Sundabar from, the war of the Silver Marches, and we hope that this 1,000 gold pieces worth of, wages can help your dwarves along the way to help rebuild your city. And it's like written to a dude named Firehelm, I believe his name is. There's a fire shield.
By a shield.
Who knows their lore better than me? I don't know. Yeah.
I'll put the note back in and try
I was right. Firehelm.
and seal it.
Lots of names. So you guys are gonna take a long rest? What do you guys want to do? I'll go around and ask three folks. I'll ask Charm, Point, and Blandina. So Charm, what do you want to do for your long rest?
Part of my long rest will be to play an instrument on my lute and just kind of be the Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack for this game of wonderful people.
Okay.
And, you know, a little bit, but Boris Slavov, he's one of the best out there. Look him up, check out his Spotify, but that's the vibe we're going with. And then I would like to speak to my snake, which is not a euphemism. Just actually using speak with animals, snakes, which is just a thing that I can do at all times, parcel tongue, and yeah, that would be great.
Is there a specific question, or are you just holding random chat with them?
I mean, it depends on if you want to role play or if not. Up to you. I don't want to make you do a voice or put
you
in
and the snake, you know, go back and forth. The snake's just like, you know, chilling there, you know, in your, you know, on your wrist or wherever it's hanging out during the fight. But you know, as you play on your lute, you see like Harshnag has a bag and he pulls out like it looks like a flute with like two stems. And starts like playing a tune at the same time, and it's like, you know, real, you know, Vikings type, you know, tunes coming out, and he matches it pretty well to what you're playing at the same time. He's sitting there, and you can tell, like, you know, this is one of his downtime things, and he just kind of chills, and he pulls out of his sack, you know, some long you know, smoked jerky or whatever, and just starts eating that at the same time. You and your snake have a chat, and you guys are in a pretty secure location because there's where there was gates that they kind of uncovered, and you guys are inside like a small quarry. And then
I'll just ask this. My only thing is updating all the intel, and then asking for guidance in terms of just saying, like, with the, what does it say? The stone was the god. What is it called? The God's Eye, or the Eye of the Allfather?
Eye of the Allfather.
I'll ask if there's any intel on that and how urgent that seems, because I'm operating right now under like, things seem chill, we're doing a great job, but if something's like DEFCON 3, move your ass. Yeah.
Are you paying attention to him talking to a snake?
Yeah.
All right. I think Quaddle's like the only one that knows that the snake like answers back in ways that's not normal snake.
Yeah,
right?
just listen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense.
All right.
Cool.
Like it's some sort of transmit receive, you know, capabilities there. Point, what are you doing for your long rest?
How damaged are the main gates?
Pretty wrecked. You can tell that a lot of the landslide just immediately covered the gate. So this is like, and I want to lore this, but there's the anvil, and then there's like the hammer gate that like brings you into the final rune gate. Behind you is like either the anvil or the hammer, and you know that the rune gate is like inside all of this landslide. So in your mind, it's probably 200, 300, 400 feet back off this landslide where the rune gate would have been. And you visited there, you know.
I'm just trying to figure out so I've got Fabricate. I've also got all my Forged Cleric abilities to do with Artisan's Blessings to be able to do anything and make anything and do all that sort of stuff. I've also got Mending to do lots of various things. I'm thinking of getting Harsnag to help hold up all the parts for me, and I'll join
Okay.
as much of it as I can together, because I know it's going to take a long time to do, but they don't normally have someone that's
Okay.
capable of doing this level of magic. So I'll
Okay.
just see if I can
Yeah, he-
repair.
Yep. I mean, over a long rest, you're able to like, build a better fortification to keep yourself protected, from on this side, but you're not going to really do much amazing architecture to what the dwarves with their magic did to the rune gate. You know what I mean? Imagine 50 to 60 points doing this all at once over the course of a year to build this thing. You're able to, sweep the floor a little bit and get it a little bit tidy.
And I'm going to leave a note on the main entrance that's just been sealed, just to explain what's happened up here. So obviously
Okay.
we're not going to. I don't think we're going to be able to get in there. So
Okay.
it's like,
Okay.
and we probably need to go. I'll talk to the guys here and go. We need to get these chests to Sunderbar.
Yep.
And that's that's a couple of days south. So Harsnag, are you leaving and going to the spine of the world now? Because we've been tasked to get these chests to Sun.
Yeah, he mentions that he wants to find a way into Felbarr first, but yes, immediately. And then Blandina, what did you want to do? Is that
Well,
who I picked for third, or was it?
You said me and then
Okay.
yeah.
well, first off, I'm going to use going straight into a trance for 4 hours to affect my my long rest. And if does anybody have? Do we have detect magic in the group?
Let's see.
Because if not, I'd like to use 50 gold from our coppers and copy that into my spellbook from the spellbook of Asmodeus. If
Yeah, I don't
everybody's
have
cool
it.
with that. It's only a first level spell. The other spells
That
are
protection for evil. Not magic. I thought I did.
then I
No.
will. So I will take the first 4 hours to go into a trance and think about Kryn and go through my mental gymnastics of I don't know how the f did I become a wizard in in Faerun. And then I'll wake up and get back to studying, have the spellbook of Asmodeus and my spellbook next to each other and start effing around with detect magic, and I will copy that in and remove 50 gold
Yep,
per hour coppers.
You added another spell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Detect magic.
Anything you want to do?
So I listened to his for Speak for the Snake, so I got the
Yeah, you're getting definitely a sense that he's got someone on the other side that he's asking for, but it's giving you a, you know what I mean? Like, you guys don't have that ability. You know what I mean? You guys do have the sending stones also, by the way. There's other, where you can reach the other party or whatever, or receive a message. There's that stuff. I don't know what the last message was, Blandina, but you basically heard him just being like, hey, what's this I, the Allfather?
yeah, and then just start writing IOUs for the chest.
IOUs? Oh, you didn't reach in there? Okay. Tight.
Yeah, I don't
we
remember
wanna keep
what the last message was either, because I don't know where we are in terms of timing with the other group.
Time.
But,
It's same.
Same.
Yep. We are now at the same date. Yep. So the other party would have just left Mirabar to head north as the last message. Should be day 51 each. I've been tracking. It's
Gotcha.
weird. Sorry.
The last message that they sent then was that Noynek got paralyzed, and some dude who was in the house. Oh wait, yeah. So something about the Alagondar thing. So I'll send a message back that we're at Citadel Felbarr, and we're heading to the Eye of the Allfather.
I would say since Sir Tim's on the other side too, they list all of those 6 locations as well. The Eye of the Allfather,
Oh, yeah, they did
Iron
list
Slag,
that. Yeah.
Deadstone Cleft. Yep, there's 6 locations that we're searching for, and they're like, Grudhog, I think was one, Iron Slag, Deadstone Cleft, Eye of the Allfather. Those are the big 4. There was Lynn something or other.
Lynn Armand.
But yeah. Yep, Lynn Armand are these locations of giant locations. So you guys now have those. We'll put it in a chat, like these 6, but nobody knows like what they're tied to or whatever. Anybody else want to do anything prior to the long rest? All right. You guys maintain your normal watches. Quaddle about in the morning. What? Because I'm picking on you?
No.
What? Oh, Kai's just ripping them?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. We have dog aggro with Cloud Kill in the room here.
Oh no.
Kick him out of the garage. I'd be like, Kai, get out of here, but he's way over there. All right. So
I do that right now.
gonna kick him out?
Yeah.
I'm just getting tear gassed over there.
If you guys walk out, he'll walk out with you, and then just close the door behind him. Oh,
Absolutely
jeez,
love the
Kai.
fact that I absolutely love the fact that your dog is doing that. I truly do. I mean, I know it's mean, but I think it's the funniest thing in the world. It's so funny. Because I know what that's like, because I have a dog laying right behind me doing it too. But he's asleep though. He's sleep farting.
He gets so comfortable. That's when you know Kai is just like is like, I love the sound of Dad being dwarves right now.
Dwarves.
Well, anyways, so you go through, your long rest. You guys are all powered back up. You wake up. You've got the chests. You wake up in the morning to a better like defensive structure where some rocks have been set up just in case anybody was to attack you, and you guys have cleaned up the gates. And Quaddle, it's kind of a forested area. You wake up and you kind of just do your morning routine, and from a tree in the like right outside of Felbarr, like you remember there's that big like almost like a traffic circle to get there. There's a tree in the center, and out stepped a dwarf with one arm, green hair, and like really yellow teeth. He's got like a bunch of moss and stuff in his hair. He steps out of the tree and kind of looks up to you, and he's like, and he kind of bounces up to you guys. You've seen him before at the grandfather tree. You see Pickle just kind of pop up, and he looks at, Felbarr, and he's just like, oh, and kind of just like, kind of walks around a little bit. The rest of you guys kind of see this as well, because he just like pops out where he would expect, Felbarr to be in in its receiving area.
So he comes up to me.
Yeah, I mean, you see him. He makes eye contact, and he's like, he remembers you being, one of the Emerald Enclave and stuff like that. So he kind of walks up and he gives this somber.
Welcome, Raiders.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Thank you.
Pickle, how long have you been here?
And he just kind of, he doesn't like communicate very well, and he's just like, and just kind of points back at the tree, and then just kind of shrugs. You get the sense that that's called like like tree step or something like that. It's a way you can teleport as a druid.
I mean, I don't know how helpful I'm going to be with Pickle. So
yeah, he kind of bounds up and he walks up to Puent, and he kind of looks up and he points up to the top of the hill, and he's like, yep. And just starts like walking up the hill.
I will follow the little Pickle all the way up.
So yeah, Pickle Boulder Shoulder kind of looks at you guys, and he points at all of you. He's like, yep. and he asks you guys, you know what I mean, and just starts like cruising up the landslide. Like there's like rocks and trees and stuff like that, but he kind of like picks his way and heads to the top of the mountain.
I'm like, Pickle, I know what you're looking for. They're really well hidden, and the dwarfs are down there.
Yeah. And he smiles real big and he's like, yep, with his left arm, and just kind of asks you to follow, and he just starts bounding his way up to the top of the I don't know if you know like the history of Pickle being here, but he's been here before, and you could tell like it seems like he's been here before, and it just starts charging up to the top of the hill. Mountain.
I will follow them.
That will just follow up.
Everybody
I'll humor and I'll follow him.
Okay.
I'm gonna take rear security.
Okay. You can tell, like, as he goes up, there's some bouldering at the top. You guys walk for probably about an hour or so of him giggling, and he'll stop and like talk to, a squirrel or something, like as if they've known him forever. Like you get this sense that he's got a lot of familiarity with Felbarr, and he just moves around. You'll see a lot of bouldering. He walks around like a big boulder and kind of like cruises in a serpentine fashion. If you've ever been to the top of like some mountains or whatever, you can tell that there are some like concealed places where there are boulders, and you see him just kind of like move around and get behind something, and it just like in plain sight, you can see where he just kind of slips underneath of a rock, and you hear him say, "Ooh," and just kind of disappears, and it starts echoing inside of a bouldered area.
Look from the rear and see what I can see inside there.
Okay. Looks like slate, just from your looking, and you can roll if you want. But it's like a slate kind of slit that he just kind of rolls under.
Easy to fit in.
Investigation.
I mean, Harshnag might have some issue, but he kind of like walks up there with you guys and kind of looks. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to fit very well, but he gets the sense, he kind of like looks around, but it looks like a really concealed area, where if he just stayed there, he could probably, hang out. But yeah, not big. It's too small for Harshnag.
So 14 investigation with dark vision if I need it.
Okay. You look down in there, you can you can hear like, and he's like slipping a ways and slips away from you. And then you hear him kind of like giggling, and you hear him say, "Yep," like up, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
We lost him. Seems like there's a slide in this cavern. Just tell the other party that.
Is this a way to get into Citadel Felbarr?
Is this one of the sort of more like get the smoke out type thing, or the air circulating type thing, or is it an actual escape hatch?
You can do a check.
15.
Does this seem to be big enough to fit a regular size human, aside from just dwarves?
Yeah. Pickle's not, I mean, he's like, 5'8", 5'9", 230 some pounds, you know what I mean? Like he's dwarf, you know what I mean? Like he fit in there, slid right in. You get the sense that yes, this does appear to be like a one of those chimneys, or a way to Sally, right? Like a Sally something. I forget the term, but Sally port.
Okay. Who's got rope?
Rope.
That's a good question.
I've got rope trick. Does that count?
I've got 50 foot of rope in my pack. if we look down this, how far is it? How far down is it?
Well, he just jumped
It goes
in.
beyond sight.
He was just jumped in and slid
Yeah,
down.
he just slid. Yeah. You can hear him. You can hear him. And he's like,
Oh, I'll go.
I'm gonna-
Right, I'll just go after him.
can you slide in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. You slide. It narrows to like your, as you skid down there and you stop with your dark vision, you can see him sitting there with like a bit of a pulley, a pulley system.
Okay, so how's this? Okay, I'm like, how far? I don't know where we are. Up, down, left, right. I have no idea. This pulley's. What do you mean?
Yep. So you slide down into a basic, like a small room, and there's like a dumbwaiter type pulley system that goes like you're at looks like the top floor the way it's carved out, and you can get in and dumbwaiter yourself, downwards.
So this is going to be a one person at a time, dumbwaiter down type thing. Okay. What do you?
It looks
How
like it's
big-
built for two.
But there's okay. So is this how much strength's required to move this up and down? Is it or is it quite well balanced?
Quite well balanced. Dwarven made.
Okay. Can we go back up first?
Sliding up. You know what I mean? Like
Oh.
coming back up looks difficult, like as if there was a rope there where you could come back up and down. They removed it to make it difficult to, you know what I mean? Like,
I will sort of shout.
you
up.
could do it though. You could do it over time. You could climb back out.
I'm just trying to. How far have we come down now? Because the other guys don't know we're
About
okay.
50 feet. About 50 feet
Okay.
of the slide.
So I'll sort of shout up and say, "We're all okay. Come down if you want."
If you all went down there, it'd just be a really tight room.
And then we'll just go once they're on their way down. Me and Pickle will go down first, just so we're at the bottom, and then we'll send it back up for the next two.
It's pitch dark. Harshnag just kind of like looks at you guys and he's like, I'll wait here. Tell me how goes it in Felbarr.
Well, we'll go to the Allfather after this.
And he just kind of sits down, whatever. He's outside. He doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't bother him. Just kind of sits there. You can see like he once again unfurls like a 10-foot, 20-foot, bedroll and just kind of, sets things up. You see him grabbing like a bunch of twigs and stuff like that to mask where he's at. Just kind of chill there.
I'll go ahead and slide down.
Everybody? Idiots. All right, cool. No, I'm just kidding. Who wants to go down the dumbwaiter first? You see Pickle, he's sitting there and he's like, woo! And he's kind of messing with it. He's very jovial and having a good time. He likes to play, and
I'll go down with him just to make sure it's safe for everybody else.
okay.
I'll be somewhere in the middle so that I'm not screwed.
So you get the sense that, that Pickle's got one arm, and he kind of like looks at you and hands you the rope for the dumbwaiter. All right. There you go. You head down. It takes 10 minutes of going down. You see various areas where if you were unwelcomed, this thing could be collapsed. Just as all dwarves do, like there's ways to collapse this behind you. So just use your imagination. You get down to the bottom of this thing and it hits another dark tunnel and you hear from the distance, like just kind of scuffling coming towards you.
Okay. I start pulling it back up to get back up to the other person's.
Okay. Oh, so you left Pickle?
No,
Okay.
Pickle's no. Pickle's down. I'm down. Can you operate it from down here to make it go back up?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
of
I'll
course.
operate it whilst keeping an eye out to see who's coming. I will be pulling it to make sure it goes up to the next person. Because otherwise, they're not going to know it's their turn to get back on it.
Okay. All right. The scuffling sounded like it went away from you guys.
Okay, well, I'll obviously spend the next 10 minutes pulling it to get him up.
Everybody going in? Everybody going in? All right. You guys, over the next 10, 20 minutes, you all get into a maybe 10-foot high, hallway, 10 foot by 10 foot, solid, perfect square cut out hallway. And there's some sconces against the wall and they're empty, right? So like, they're just not lit. So there's unlit torches.
I'll light those as we go along.
Okay. When you light them, you can see where like your dark vision or whatnot just comes to an end. It's a very long hallway, probably built for a reason for this funnel, but it's just very long. It's the air is very like stifled, just because like you can tell there's not a lot of air getting into this spot.
Question: is Mirren with us, or is he up with?
He's with you.
Okay, I make sure he's got his helmet on.
Contemplating really hard. Huh?
I make sure he leaves his helmet on.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, good choices. So he leaves his dread helm on so that he can't look as drow-like.
He just look. We've just come in a back entrance of a dwarven stronghold. We've got a drow with us. There may be issues. Okay.
Yeah. Pickle's there, but he's. What's up?
I was gonna say, I have the ability to cast light, and I was gonna just cast light on myself, so that way, if it gets too dark, it'll be brightened up for the rest of the group. So that's what I was gonna do, is just cast light on myself.
Yep. So you guys are casting light. You guys are down there. You guys are all there. Who wants to lead the way down this tunnel?
I will if people would like me to.
Bottle,
I don't mind.
Bottle already said he would do it. Bottle, and you and Gwen side by side. It's 10 foot. You guys start like walking forward. You guys move. 2-3 minutes go by. 4 minutes go by. The light ensconces. You can see your light kind of disappearing until you hit the an opening of some sort of causeway from the outside. As you get there and you reach the end, you can stop wherever you guys want. I'm just going to keep moving you. You can see you're entering a massive, humongous chamber. You get out, entering within a few 100 feet, leading you as a torch being door, spike blade. After moving in an echoing hallway, stifling air, you step into a column-filled, vast chamber. Your ears start like popping and adjusting to the difference of the pressure in this area. You feel the vastness of a dark receiving area. The torch shows the shadows of enormous pillars in front of you that climb beyond your dark vision. Light climbs to expose a vast chamber 100 feet up. And as you start looking up, you can start seeing various shadows in this slit that's probably like 4 feet high. So it goes like solidly 100 feet up, with a slit about 5 feet high at about 100 feet, and it goes all the way around this square chamber where all these pillars are. And you can see various, defense mechanism, ballista, and things like that in this area. When you poke your head out, you see that this is kind of like an entryway, and off to your left is like the entrance to the rune gate itself. You start looking around, and as your party comes in there and starts entering this massive chamber, you hear from a distance, "That'll be far enough, if you please." And you start hearing like chainmail kind of walking towards you and around you, echoing in this large chamber where you can hear various bodies moving around behind the pillars and like above you guys as well. You get the sense from this individual in the center lights a staff and then sends the staff light to the ceiling, where there's some sort of like bucket or some sort of apparatus that may or may not, fall down onto this chamber. As the light starts to clear open this thing, you get the sense that this is like the kill box for if you enter like this chamber. There's like, you can see 7 or 8 shadows that are in there, and you see one individual kind of walking up to you guys. As you start doing this, Puent, you see the back end of the rune gate, and you see like 2 like famous juicers like sitting there like waiting to push into what's the left of the hallway to the rune gate. As you guys stepped out with Pickle like bounces forward to shake hands with whoever this was in the center, and one of those juicers is off to your right getting ready to close the hole that you guys just came in. The juicer is just like, if you watch the labyrinth or whatever, it's just some sort of spinning drill apparatus where like a couple dwarves can get on the back of it and just go down like a tunnel and just start like annihilating anybody that's beyond them. But Puent, you get the sense that you're instantly amongst dwarves. A dwarf like walks forward, wearing just chain and a symbol of Moradin hanging on his chest. He's got like a nasal piece like helm on, with a mace that's like kind of lidded as it's in his hand, starting to glow a little bit, and kind of walks straight up to you and kind of looks you over a little bit, outstretches his hand, and he's like, "Welcome to Citadel Felbarr. What's left of it? The name's Parson Glaive." Give you a second to respond, and then I can just keep talking till my face falls off.
Okay. I'll grasp his hand and say, "By Modron's hammer, it's good to see your ugly mugs. Come clank our taggers and toast to stones beneath this land."
We've
What
heard
happened?
you. We heard you outside. We were watching from the furnaces and the chimneys. We're indebted. The Fire Gaunt, within a couple days, would have been in here and destroyed what we have left of the dwarves. And, he snaps his fingers or whatever. We were keeping it close. Kai's got really bad gas. Yeah. Sorry, that was off-camera stuff. My bad. Krista just walked back in. And you can see that some torches are being lit as well. 1 second, I'll pull the thing, and I think you're good. That way we got something on camera for today's sesh. Not this. Nope. No, Mom. Oop, we got a dwarf attached to the thing. It was Sonya.
I'll sort of say, "Do you have any ale?"
Of course you
In
would
a
say
fight.
that, Puent. Of course. That's all you can think about is ale.
Well, at least it's not holy water.
Shut it, you. This is dwarven holy water.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Just saying.
There's a few barrels left, but obviously, we were holding out. We're about to collapse the tunnels to Adbar within this evening. Mithril Hall has been collapsed. We can't make it there.
There's no need to collapse anymore. The Gaunt's gone. Gaunt's been dealt with.
He's like, praise Moradin. And he's like, the fire giants are gone, and he gives like they've done it. And they start like, you hear him kind of celebrating, like a dude puts his arm around your guys' shoulders. Charm, a dwarf, kind of like walks up to you and, kind of bumps up against you. Sonya, I don't know if you and Quaddle have like receded into the shadows, but it's pretty dark there. You get the sense that there are places where you'd see where there would be receiving, and it's like all emptied. Where there would be like little initial shops that are carved into the sides of the walls. Those are like empty right now. But they beckon you to kind of come back into another chamber and get out of this kill box.
I follow them. So what was that guy's name again? Sorry.
He reminds you. He's like, the name's Parson Glaive. This is my friend. This is the last general that we have, Ragged Dane. He commands the last 400 dwarves that have left behind us. The Felbarr Brigade is lost to us. They have not returned. King Emerus Warcrown left us maybe 2, 3, 10 days ago to return with little RR, and they kind of like giggle. I mean, King Brunner, and they kind of like look skeptically. It's a long story, they say, but they've marched to Gauntlgrim, and we've collapsed the caves behind them. Adbar is the last bastion with Hombrum, King Harbrum, to our west. But he's like King Tethmil and Queen Morin. King Morin and Queen Tethmil would be happy to meet you. We can go to the halls and we can rest and have libations there. He's like, come.
If they're still here, of course we should introduce ourselves. I've not seen them since I was a small dwarf.
Yep. So you guys are all welcome to look around, do whatever you guys want to do to like pop in. The scene. They're taking you guys back to what looks like very sparse barracks type environment, just like you guys left Hawk's Nest. It doesn't look like this is the bustling Felbarr anymore. As move into a spot a little bit farther in the kill box, you can tell that it's engineered to be collapsed again, even that area. And then you go into another chamber that looks like that's being prepared to collapse again. And you move into like where their last, the last 400 dwarves from Felbarr are holding out. Just kind of the wives and the husbands of the warriors that are outside. They're tending to things. There's a chapel to Moradin. There's some Delzoon stuff. And they've got the basic a small society kind of left. They set up over the next hour or so in this large banquet hall that they've crafted. There's like 20 long tables inside this other kill box, like a secondary kill box that they start bringing out food and stuff for and setting up, and they're kind of preparing for the king and queen to return.
Well, Clint, should we
from wherever they're at
hang out?
I'll look around and ask. Shall we wait here for the king and queen, or should we go and meet them in their chambers?
Yeah, so you're the heroes of the day. Would you like to? I mean, you get the sense that like access to the king and queen now are like they just became king and queen like 5 minutes ago, and they were about to be the king and queen of a citadel that was going to fall in like 20 days. So like there's easy access to them.
Well, we'll go and I'll sort of say, should we wait here and we don't want to impose in their quarters. If there's somewhere they would prefer us to meet, obviously this is their hall. We might be the heroes, but this is their hall.
Yeah, so you guys sit down. There's a couple dwarves that are already there. Some dwarves, they say, that arrived, before they had to collapse it. There's a couple like refugees that like ran in there. So there's other like humans and elves that are kind of just like held up with them. They're trying to remove.
Okay. Also, before Parson leaves, I will introduce Parson to Mirren and say he is a good drow. He is not one of the normal ones. And I'll get him to take his helm off, and just to sort of we left the helm on, so there's no issues in coming through the entrance which we did. We didn't want it to cause alarm.
Yeah, you get the sense that there's some aversions at first, but then they're like, they they get over it. I'll let Mirren tackle that problem too. But it's not. They're kind of okay with it. Even with Quaddle being a half orc, and just from the Silver Marches, you get the sense that they're kind of used to the diversity since the Battle of the Silver Marches, where the orcs were good and there were orcs that were bad. They became Obold fell, and they do have some familiarity with good drow and
Just
good
thought I'd let
orc.
you know. Just thought I'd make sure that there was no issues.
Yep. So they sit down, and you guys get to sit at the high table. There's like some dude that just like blows like one horn when King Tethmal or King Morin and Queen Tethmal like walk out. Queen Tethmal like pushes King Morin aside, kind of like brushes him, and then walks straight up to you guys. She's wearing chainmail. She's got a big old beard as well, and just like she sees your spike armor, but like grabs you by the shoulders, and she's just like, "We're indebted to you, lad." She's like, "Where did you come from? How'd you know about us?"
I as they were approaching, I would have stood up because it's polite.
Yep.
And as she got up, I was like, "We were sent here from the nest to." We heard stories, and we heard the Felbarr Brigade had ran into some hill giant. Managed to. Our understanding is they had to divert around and go through Waterdeep. So not all is lost. They had to divert around, go to Waterdeep, and come the long way around because of a horde of stone giants in their way. So I will expect them to be maybe 10 days away, something like that. But they are on route. Do not expect them to go.
They look around when you say this, and they're like, "We can hold out, Queen." And they're just like getting like really psyched, and they start rolling more barrels out. Like you tell they're getting into their rations now, because they didn't know how long they were gonna have to hold out. And they're like, "This doesn't mean we have to close the Adbar. Like this is great." And King Morin walks up, and he sits down. He's got like a map in his hand that he's been working on as well. They sit around, and they're like, "Raggedane, we could do this with our 400 dwarves. We can hold out." He's like, "What's your name?" And he looks at you. Point. Obviously, spoiler alert. His name's Point. But yeah.
Well, as he says that, I'll my helmet's off. I'll put down, and I'll say, "Well, King Morin, my name is Hudron Point." And I'll sort of bow and get up. I come from. My family are from Mithra. I've visited here as a child. Over 100 years, 200 years ago. But my lineage is from the Gutbusters. We are a proud and rather, let's say, forthright dwarfs. We're definitely not one in taking a back seat. We are here because we are lucky. We are on behest of the Lords of Waterdeep, looking into this giant uprising, giant chaos that's causing all over the realms. It's not just here. It seems to have been that these accursed giants have taken advantage of all the well of dragons, malarkey, and all the movement of all the forces, and now they're infighting, they're fighting, they're looking for things. The fire giants up here. We're trying to bring a ring of adamantine to you that we found in Tribor, and we've taken it all. We got it all the way here, only to be stolen the last possible time. We wanted to bring it here for its safekeeping, but to be honest, you have your own troubles now.
So you looking at when you're looking at King Morin and Queen Tethmal, they're probably a few years younger than you. So they were kind of saddled with this based on their, how would I say it, their bloodline with King Emrys being gone. So like you can tell, like in terms of wisdom and handling things, they can probably just like nut up and protect this place. But he's gonna be a king and queen. They're gonna be a king and queen, like taking over in a time of strife. You see him kind of look over at Parson Glaive, and Parson Glaive, you can tell, is like older, and is kind of acting as like the head advisor, like because he was the steward prior to them. But so King Morin, looks over, and Queen Tethmil pipes up, and she's like, that are from the ancient underground forge of Iron Slag. That was Duke Zalto himself outside. They're in league with the Jow, obviously trying to keep us off balance while our Felbarr brigade is gone. And King Emrys is off with the Delzunes and Little RR. I mean Brunor. If you could help us with
Little
Iron Slag.
RR.
Well,
Little RR. King Brunor says he's back from the dead or something. It's a long story. King Brunor Battlehammer is the king of all dwarves. He just basically, they'll go on and tell you that, 200 some years ago there was a great dwarf. He dies in Gauntlgrim, with Point's grandfather on his side. They go and they tell you this long story, about retaking the ancient dwarven Delzun place, and this dude comes back to life somehow and gathers all the dwarves again to go retake Gauntlgrim. So that's why there's no dwarves around right now.
I just
To defend this place.
I should never have left. I'd have been there helping my king.
You're helping him now. Your destiny, you've called, and he, claps you on the shoulder, and he's like, a gutbuster, eh?
Well, my lineage, yes. My calling came elsewhere. I am a forged cleric of Moderin. However, I still have the it's in my blood.
It's kind of quiet as you guys are talking, and as you guys are in this large room with the tables all set up, the farthest right table, you hear as a chair pushes out, and they're like, we just happen to have some of those wild dwarves from Adbar here. And he just kind of like scoots back a little bit. The table, you see from a distance, one dwarf scoots the chair back, and as you make eye contact, you see a blackened armor, blackened with years of caked blood on the spiked pauldrons, spiked greaves, peaked with a helm with two forks, black hair with which you can see almost glistening with teeth and bone inside the beard, kind of slowly, stiffly moves from not cleaning this beard ever. And you hear from a distance, so you think you're Point's kid? You wear his spikes? You think you're battle rager worthy? And then the rest of the dwarves that were sitting next to him stand up, all wearing the same spiked pauldrons and plate. There's only one way to figure out if you're gonna be a gutbuster. And you see a circle kind of going around you as this dude, grabs his axe in hand, claps it, in a good choked up, twists it, and he's like, the name's Crunch. And you see everybody else kind of move aside and step back, and he's like, let's see if you've got the metal. And you can roll for initiative, Quint, and anybody else that wants to get involved. That's up to you.
I might give it. Is Bardic Inspiration something that's like a visual effect, or just being able to say, "You got this," is like not going to be considered interfering? I always wonder.
So something that happens in Forgotten Realms, a lot of people have spells, right? And they would want to sneak a spell. So what I would say is if you're going to want to do a Bardic Inspiration without anybody seeing, you're going to have to roll sleight of hand with it.
Okay, so Bardic Inspiration does count as like a spell sort of thing. In which case, I would
Because you're
probably
going to have to
respect.
say, you're going to be like, point, easier, man. If he can't do it, you know what I mean? Like,
Right, yeah,
but-
it's the aspect of like how magical is that in appearance to people. If it's magical, I don't want to like piss people off, so I'm gonna let Quent handle it. He can take on the crunch. I believe in him.
I'm going to reach into my bag and I'm gonna pull out just like a giant foam finger that says Puent on it, and it says number 1 on top, and I'm
Nice.
like, "Go Puent! I got you, dude.
Do you
You're
think
a
they
gut
sell
buster in
those?
my book."
I'm like, where did you get that?
Yeah, I was
So
like,
as you
do they
guys
sell
step
those?
forward, you can see him. What'd you get for your initiative?
14.
Oh, okay. All right. You can see him getting ready to like his eyes like roll back into his head, like as he's about to rage. What you gonna do?
I could be really nasty, but
I have a feeling I know what you're gonna say. I'm excited.
I could just hold person him. But no, I'll sort of go as I do. I'll get my hammer and go. Let's see what happens, and I will basically just lower my shoulder a bit and just run straight for him, as like
Okay.
sort of, as a sort of try to sort of shoulder barge him before he gets to rage.
Okay. You're gonna roll to hit, or is this a strength? What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to push him back 10 feet first of all, so it's like an athletics type.
Okay.
So it'd be opposed athletics.
Okay.
Ooh, that's not bad actually. 18.
All right. You run and you smash into him. He takes his foot back, and you guys slide maybe an inch as he commences raging. Takes his axe and puts it behind your head for make another athletics check or a strength check.
Oh, 19.
Ooh, same. All right, so you guys are
Dancing.
grappling each other. I will say, yep, you guys are like squeezing, but you're both taking damage from the spikes on your armor because your armor has spikes.
Yeah, it's not
All right.
quite as good as, it's not probably quite as good as his ones, to be fair.
Okay.
They're more-
I'm not gonna have it hit you since you guys matched. So like, he commenced raging. You guys smash into each other. It's your turn.
Okay. I go. My gifts may lie elsewhere, but I am of the blood, and I'll slash my hands and I'll cast spiritual weapon.
Okay.
So I'll have my little monitoring sort of thing appear behind, sort of to the left of him, and sort of smack him in the side of his head, or try to hit his hand with my spiritual weapon, so I can get him to drop his axe.
Okay.
Does a 19 hit?
Does not.
Oh, it's ka-ching.
Yep. So that the hammer appears, it hits, and he just like grits his teeth, and he's like, "Priest!" And he raises up his
Hang on. That was my bonus
another?
action. I have my
Okay.
normal action,
Okay.
and I call forth the guardians of Motherin to circle around me and protect me.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm doing it. I'm not letting him hit them. I'm just casting them. I'm putting him as a friend, just to sort of show him what I'm doing. I'm not.
Okay. So around you, a bunch of battle
I will-
rages just start
yeah,
ghost
I
battle
will-
rages start running
And
around.
I'll say I will not use Monodrin's power against one of my kin, and I'll cast it just so it's sort of.
So just as a picture, there's like a half circle of gutbusters called the Wild Dwarves. They're on one side of it. They're cheering on the Crunch side, and behind you guys is like another half circle of a hodgepodge dwarves and you guys. But then in the inside of that are now a bunch of fallen gutbusters from the past, you know, in their ghostly forms, and they're sitting there, and they just start from the back of their, you know, their armor. They're just, you know, they've got like weird. They reach into the ephemeral somewhere, and they're grabbing like ghostly pints and whatnot, and just start like cheering at the same time. But you can't hear what they're saying, but you can kind of see their voices, you know, say like, you know, trying to verbalize something. Anybody else could see, you know, if they wanted a perception check of what they're saying, but it's up to you guys. All right, so you cast Spirit Guardians as your action.
Yep.
And you're holding there. All right, he's gonna make his 2 attacks. Does a 22 hit?
Yep.
All right. Oh, so that's 8 slashing damage as he hits into you. Actually chips off your armor like he doesn't care, and is just going hard in the paint. He's gonna swing again, and he just, you know, he's distracted by everything, and he just holds his axe there and kind of gets ready to parry and fight with you guys. Any of you guys that are on the outside want to do something at the same time, like, feel free to pop in.
I tell them to wait. This will be fine.
I'll just cast Minor Illusion to have like war drums in the background just to give some more ambiance.
Ooh, I will join in that with my loot. I will hit a sick bass line.
Okay.
I start walking around, handing out foam fingers and hot dogs.
Waddle, you want to do anything? Just chilling? I was just drinking a beer in the background. Sonya, you want to do anything?
I've got my pom-poms going. Go, Brent, go!
All right. Okay. All right, Point, it's your turn.
Okay. I banish the Spirit Guardians back to where they came from, just as sort of, and I'll put my hand. I'll put my hand on Crunch's armor and cast Heat Metal at level 4.
That's what I thought you were gonna do.
Okay. Okay. That's just pure. There's no save. Is there a?
No,
Not really.
the
Yeah.
10. He's taken 22 points of fire damage.
Fire. Okay. All right.
And if the creature is holding or wearing the object, it's his armor. He must succeed a Constitution saving throw or drop. If he can't, to drop to the object, which is his armor, so he can't. He has disadvantage on all his attack rolls and ability checks.
Oof. Okay. We're gonna have to switch to reckless attacks then. All right. Sounds good.
I'm gonna look to Gwen and say, "Those hot dogs smell amazing."
You see him just like
They're really good.
you can see him burning up, but he's kind of a barbarian, so this is also pretty tight.
And then my spiritual weapon. My spiritual weapon will hit him for 25.
That hits.
Lattes?
And
Anybody
that
for lattes?
11 points of damage.
Right. All right. So you see him, his armor's like glowing and like red, and he's just writhing in this, but you can see that he's already like flipped anyways. He's already like full raging. So he's like in berserker mode anyways. He's going to try to grapple you with the heat metal on. This has got to be same.
Ooh.
Let's see. You can run. I guess let's do. What is it? Run. Yeah, run your athletics as well.
17.
All right, 19. So he's got you. What was the damage on the heat metal?
22.
I'm saying like, what is the roll for?
Oh, it's
you're gonna
48. No, I'm not actually, because I'm a forge cleric. Fire doesn't hurt me that much.
Okay, so you can get like what is it? Half that? Is it
Yeah,
resistance?
it's 48.
Okay. We'll just do 2d8. 6. As he's grappling onto you and holding you, and he's just like, "How do you like it?" And just tries to like squeeze his pauldrons and spikes into you.
Hang on, concentration. I'm fine. I go. I love the heat.
All right, cool. Your turn.
Okay. It's going to take some more damage. 12. 23 points of fire damage.
Okay.
I can't use my bonus action to, because that's classes as my bonus action. So I can't use my spiritual weapon this turn.
Heavy RP session. Sorry, everybody.
And I'll sit there, and this time what I'll do is I'm going to toll the dead, but I'm going to pick him up and bang him on the floor as my toll the dead. So I go, dong.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw, please.
19.
He passes, annoyingly.
Is that your full turn?
Yeah. Do I recognize the crunch? Do I have any history? Do I know anything about this guy?
Yeah, what's your passive what's that, passive wisdom?
What, insight or just passive wisdom?
Passive insight, yeah.
17.
He went missing. He went missing when I believe Sundabar fell. The wild dwarves like went out. You know what I mean? To like I think he went missing with King Harbram when Brom died or whatever. So he was one of the wild dwarf gutbusters from Adbar, and he went missing. But he's back. That's where the Lord. But yes, he's the leader of the Adbar brigade for gutbusters.
As I say that, I'll say, what happened in Sundabar? Why have you not returned to Mithril Hall?
Okay, he's defending Adbar, but yeah, he's just frothing at the mouth. He's gonna continue to squeeze you for a 16 strength.
Give him
19, I break out of it.
Give him a kiss,
Okay, so
Clint.
you broke out. And you push him away, and he's just writhing. Does he still have heat metal on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he's just like starting to keep going one more round on that. How long does heat metal last? I've never used this one.
Until he dies.
Until he died. Is this another Tasha's broke one?
No.
No.
Heat metal's like been around forever.
Yep. It's OG material.
Okay.
It lasts a minute.
Okay. Yeah, he's in a lot of pain. But go with your turn as you push off of him, and he lines himself up for another attack.
Okay, as he does that, I push him off. It's only 19 fire damage at that time.
Okay. That's it?
And no, as he does that, I toll the dead on him as well.
All right. And the wisdom save is 17.
God, he's a little wisdom shitty, isn't he?
He's so wise.
He's so wise.
So he flies back, and he sets himself up and he charges at you. Does a what was it? It's a 23 hit.
Yeah. Ooh. It's okay. He's only done a bit of damage to me so far. It's fine. This is it's fine.
How does this guy look right now?
It's 15 bludgeoning, and make a strength check to see if you're prone. Strength save.
15 on my strength save.
All right, you're standing. You're still standing. But yep, took the 15 bludgeoning.
Yep.
How does
And
this guy
he's
look
still. He's in rough shape.
from the side? I'll I'll cast Frost Fingers with no damage to cool down his armor.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You'll just see just like some frosty hand come out and just attach to his armor, and it cools it down.
Okay. And you see the dwarves just like getting real pissed off that someone interfered, and they don't know who did it, and they're just kind of like going back and forth.
So, my go.
Yep.
Is he? So we're in melee combat at the moment, aren't we?
You did get pushed back 10 feet from the charge, but you didn't get knocked prone.
Okay, cool. Okay, so heat metal goes off again. Actually, sorry. First of all, concentration check. I passed.
Okay.
20 points of fire damage.
Okay. Yep. So he's still standing. He's screaming. What else you got?
I'm gonna run up to him with me trusty warhammer and try to sort of like uppercut him with my warhammer.
Okay.
Those 10.
Just 23 hit.
Hits.
Hang on, I've got to find a D8. There it is. Right.
Technically, you should be rolling advantage of this too, right? Because he's doing reckless attacks.
Cool. Nat 20 then. Thank you.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
So that's 9 plus 8 is 17 bludgeoning damage.
All right. How do you wanna?
Basically, I'm gonna run up to
assert
him,
dominance.
and I'm basically gonna go like right underneath his chin on his helm, poof, as he sort of flies up
It
and he
hits him. And he flies back into like two other gutbusters. They catch him, and he's just like his rage is kind of out, and he just starts like peeling off.
No, as he does that, as he goes, he's unconscious, like hurt. I will drop spirit heat metal because it just vanishes, so he doesn't have to take his arm off. And I will run up to him and pump him with a 3rd level cure wounds.
You see him take it. He shakes his head off. He looks at you, kind of snarling, and we'll take a quick. Let's see. We'll come back on the hour. Back in Felbarr. So we'll take a quick break.
Thanks for
I can't
the
spell the healing.
thanks for the chat in there. That was some great Taco Bell stuff. Be back on the hour, guys.
RPing with Tim. This is I'm doing my
This is
best.
story
You,
time.
you're about to say
Yeah.
it's a storytelling game. You got to tell us a story.
Yeah, and we're back. Let's see. So Plant, you just uppercut him with the axe, or you uppercut him with the hammer? Hit him in the chin. It splits his like great helm. That's like, you know, it opens up in his face and it wraps around underneath his chin. He's at that big fork that he uses to try to skewer you, as all gutbusters would. You split his helm that's like heat metalled, right? And he lays back and he's like writhing on the ground, starts ripping off his, and then you turn off the heat metal and you heal him, and he stands back up. He stares at you square in the eyes, you know, like, and he just gives you a big hug, and he's like, "Oh, fighting with Thibbledorf's own." And he raises up your hand and he's like, "The priest." And the other gutbusters start, like, you know, cheering at the same time and start, like, you know, rapping their chest and start, you know, yelling point. And he's like, bring it forward. And you can see from a group of the gutbusters, they bring forward a helm with like a very protruding spike, and they're like, "We crafted it just like your grandfather." And they, you know what I mean, they present it to you, and they're like, and they start doing a toast, you know, where they stand up on the tables and start singing Gutbuster songs as like part of a ritual, you know, to enter you into the Gutbusters themselves.
I take the helm. I pick up his helm, which I've split. As picking it up, I cast mending on it, and this needs to be whole. As is our
he
true.
looks left and right amongst them, and, you know, gives like you'd be very valuable, you know, within the, but they fully accept you, you know, into the, what are they, the Wild Dwarves? The Wild Dwarves Gutbuster Brigade of Adbar, you know, and they start, you know, cheering, and you know, and they, you know, point is obviously gone, you know, we would have gone there ourselves, but King Harbram wouldn't allow us to go.
I will put him to rest. It's my solemn duty, or that my grandfather walks this earth no more.
King Morin and Queen Tethmal come forward, you know, clapping, and behind them you hear like clanging and plate mail from, they see behind them carrying on leads. They have two goats in like plate, and they're like, hopefully these two steeds will be able to help you on your way. And they pass off, you know, to you know, they obviously don't have very many left, but they hand off two like battle goats to you as well. He asks you to come back and sit down at the table, like all of you guys, to see if he can, you know, you're interested in a proposition.
It's not often that Puent is speechless, but Puent is speechless.
Yeah.
And he puts the helm on, and he's leaving it on for the ceremony. He's not taking this off for a long time now.
Yeah, it's like a rhino horn. You know what I mean? It's like a big old rhino horn. It's got like bits of dried up viscera on it as well. It's been used.
It's like, I never thought I'd actually. To be honest, I was never one for the physicalities. Much to my grandfather's. Well, let's say he was a hard man. He knew what he wanted, and he was one of the best at it. But I had a calling elsewhere, but this means the world to me, Crunch. And anything I can do, if you need me, call on me. I'll be there.
You know, he's kind of sits back and looks at the king and queen. They look at the rest of you guys, and if you can do anything to push back Iron Slag, we'd be happy to build you a keep in the Silver Marches when this is all over. If you can show proof that you've destroyed Duke Zalto and his forge, we'll build you all a keep in the Silver Marches, wherever we can reach.
Well, there is one of the locations that we have been given. I kicked myself for not knowing that it was the stronghold of the fire giants. But with what's been happening around, I'll give them a quick sort of understanding what's been happening with the ordning and all the various things here. And there's us and another party. You may have heard of them. They're called Noinek and the Revengers. We were a humble upbringing together. They seem to have been rock stars now. They seem to be, but they're off. I'm not sure where. When's the last time we heard of them, Blandina? When did we last hear? Where are they heading?
They were just in Mirabar, and were heading up this direction actually from Mirabar.
So they're Mirabar going that way. But then they've got 6 locations of somewhere that we need to look at for some. Did they actually say why we need to go to these 6 locations? Was it someone to do a ring or something to do with something or another?
The Ring of
I missed the
Winter,
details.
something with the Ring of Winter, and 6.
Wow.
I don't know.
Well, maybe the Ring of Winter could put out the forge in the Iron Slag. It's cold enough. That'll be an achievement and a half if we could do that. But we have to be honest, what's happened now, the Drow was helping Duke Zolto. He's captured something that is vital to us, a cart and 2 oxen. If we don't get it back to Manu, he's going to kill us.
Ooh, yeah, so they recognize that name, especially amongst the battle ragers. Yeah, they're like, yeah, you don't want to mess with that fool.
Well, I think they've just put a nail in their own coffin if they've stolen Manu's cart. That's all I have to say. But we'll definitely need to go that way. But to be honest, we had enough trouble with 1 or 2 of the giants outside. How many giants are going to be at Iron Slack?
You're asking how many giants are going to be at Iron Slag?
Do we have any idea? Do we have any idea of the numbers?
When they attacked us outside, there were at least 20. With over 30 some yak folk. But that was without Duke Zalto with them. So there are tons of giants. But you guys look like the way you handled, the skilled gutbusters. I think we're safe. We've another heroes of the realm. Wait, my Scottish accent. I forgot. Another heroes of the realm.
Well, it will definitely be something that we need to do. We are heading to the spine of the world next, though. We've got.
Who's that with you? And he kind of points up.
Harsnag of Force Grey.
Yeah, they kind of Parson Glaive nods and he's like, "Oh, a valuable ally." Yeah, we can't let Kai in. He's equipped with at will cloud kill. Yeah. I don't know what he got into.
So that is something that we can definitely look at doing. It won't be immediately though. We do have other duties, and we've also have the 2 large chests on the surface that need to go to Sunderbar to pay for the wages down there.
Is there anything else that we can provide you? Most of our shops are closed. We only have just like one vendor left.
Well, to be honest, I'm not. Is there anything that we could do for you as well? We are pretty much, as you see, I am the least skilled amongst my brethren here. We can put our hats together and see what we can come up with. It's just you're stuck down here at the moment. Is there one question I do have is, how are we
Two
getting
10
the
days,
goats out,
piece of cake.
how are we getting the goats out of here?
Carefully.
Help us.
Yeah.
Is my
There's
dad
another.
here?
He lets you know that there's another a chimney that you can work to get out.
So off the record on this, are they classed as giant goats with some type of armor?
Yes. For right now, they're very plot. They're like war goats, right? Aren't they? Isn't it in? I think they're war goats or something like that. I can look them up.
I'll find.
But yeah, you have two. That, and if you get rid of Iron Slag, they promise that they will build you a keep in the Silver Marches. Other than that, they continue celebrating through the evening. They're glad that they're probably only 10 days away from the last remnants of the Felbarr Brigade to show up. You're tracking that Mithril Hall is collapsed. The passage to Mithril Hall has been collapsed so that no one can get farther to the west. But there is a tunnel to Adbar, but that's way far to the east that is not collapsed, so that Crunch can move back and forth with his Gutbusters. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I'll turn to the party and say, what's your thoughts? I obviously, anything we can do to help these dwarfs is something that I'll be interested in, but I understand at this moment in time, we have other things on our plate.
I'm gonna tell Clint. I think it's your time to find your place, and I just found my place. I think the party will be supportive in helping you on your journey.
Yeah, we were definitely going to go Iron Slag. That's definitely something we need to do. We need more information. We definitely need more information before we go there. King, my queen. How much do we know about Iron Slag, and do we know its location?
We just know that it's probably to the east of here, is where there's more fire giants prominent. It's nothing that I would go marching off without knowing. If this Harshnag knows where to go to get more information, I think that that's critical. Other than the fire giants, the stone giants to the south and the gray peaks are cutting us off from the south as well. So both are, but obviously the closest to us that we know is probably Iron Slag. We don't know where it is. Like, legend has it that that's where Duke Zalto is from. But if we saw him outside, we know that he's at large, I think is the word we want to use right now. Duke Zalto's at large. Yeah.
Well, that's definitely something we need to be dealing with. Is there
D's.
Is there before I see anything? Is there do you have a cleric of Modrin around? Is there one around here, or is it
only the greatest ever? As Parson Glaive leans forward and, how may I be of assistance?
I didn't realize that you were of the faith.
Yes, my son.
So I will just
Clang.
I will go, and I need to sort of have a commune with Modrin and sort of find out, are we on the sort of the right path? Are we doing the right thing? Are things going? Obviously, it's all been a bit of a railroad, sort of a roller coaster. Sorry, wrong word. Roller coaster.
Oh, really?
Roller coaster in terms of getting things done, and which way was up, which way was down, and Quentin just needs a little bit of direction and just a little bit of sort of center himself a bit more, because he's not been around dwarfs for a very long time now. And,
okay. Yeah, you and Parson Glaive can go, have a little conclave, with Parson Glaive. And you do the same thing. You go like I would say if it's a Moradin, there's a forge in there as well, and you guys kind of just as a forge cleric, you find your spirituality, I guess, like banging hammers in there, and you do start feeling like this Eye of the Allfather, this place of the Oracle to the Giants is probably your best lead that you've had as you're starting to gain clarity in the forge. Dog's
I'm like, I appreciate this is going to go well. We need to get back and tell my comrades. I'll say to Parson. Do you know what's happened to this dwarf?
Your father, right? Your father.
Yes.
It appears that he's one of the undead now. He's part of the mist, and he's become a vampire where only a wish spell could bring him back. That being said, you're doing great things in the Forgotten Realms, in Faerun, and if you keep it up, powerful people will become indebted to you, and they can perform such tasks. But only a wish spell or something like that. Maybe I don't know, some sort of. He's like, I can look into it.
Yep. Well, so yeah, we need to track him down. We need to find him. We need to stop him hurting anyone else. So,
Well,
on my
Bruno
honor.
will be there soon. Bruno will be down in Gonalgrim soon. We'll go from his judgment.
Well, he's a wise king, but I have to have my father have my father finally rest. If that means have to make him permanently rest, that has to be done. If we have no other way of bringing him back, he doesn't deserve the fate he's got.
If Moradin wills it. Inshallah. Yeah.
Is there anything I can do for you whilst we're here? Is there anything we have to be leaving soon?
We're indebted to you. If you want, he's like, all I have is honestly, we're out of healing, but I've got this box of unmarked potions. I don't know what they could do, but he just kind of like points off to the side and he's like, "There's unlabeled potions. I'm not sure what they could do. You could take them if you'd like, but I'm not sure if they work. Those are our discarded potions that didn't, turn into a healing potion or whatever."
Are there any blue?
Oh, there's blue. There's a purple one in there.
I'll take the blue ones.
Take a blue. There you go. He throws it to you. Not sure what's gonna happen.
Well, we could use these as interesting tactics.
You have 10 unmarked potions. Yeah, you never know.
What could
They get a
go-
very wild magic tables vibe to them.
Okay. Perfect. Is there anything else we can do for you? We need to.
You can
I'll
see
start
that they're pretty amped up. They're defending the kill box. They're getting things ready. The young king and queen are inspired, where they didn't, take over Citadel Felbarr and have to give it up immediately after King Emerus left. King Emerus is an older dwarf that left through Mithril Hall, then on to Gonalgrim with about the remaining 2,000 shield dwarves that they had left.
Well, if they manage to recapture Goldselgrim, that'll be a story for legends.
Maybe we'll meet there someday. he, goes to shake your hand and
Thank you. We'll be back. We will be here. Hopefully, Felbarr will be reunited with its warriors again and be whole again.
indeed. It's just like, I'm so out of RP words right now. I'm like, yes.
Mashallah.
Yeah, I only had 2 pages written. I'm all out. So for the rest of the party, you guys are kind of watching this going on. Dwarves are acting like dwarves, or they're rolling barrels out, having a good time. You've noticed that there are some other folks that showed up as refugees there. You see like a couple dwarves talking with some other folks that may or may not have just arrived in the same kind of manner that you guys did as well, but after the fire giants over the past evening. What do you guys like to do? Let's see, Mirren, I'll let your brain kind of keep spinning up. Anybody have something offhand that they want to do before I just start like randomly selecting somebody? Super tight. Blandina. What's Blandina up to? She's muted.
First, Blandina's like seen a mass amount of dwarves like this, so taking this in. But I think we need to go to the Allfather and find out as much intel about Iron Slag that we can from the Allfather, and then probably head there.
I thought she was trying to keep it on the down low so no one found out about her frost hand.
What are you talking about?
What frost hand?
What frost hand?
Let's see. Gwen, you got anything you want to do before you guys depart? You guys are planning on departing, I'm assuming? Is that kind of what I'm gathering? Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Live your best lives. All right.
I was actually curious about the. They said they had a merchant here, correct?
Uh-huh.
My little merchant person.
Yeah, there's a guy and he's got like just some, stuff on his backpack. He's got like just same as like Ding Dong Johnson has the big prospector thing. He's kind of like runs a store that's on his back.
Right. I walk over to him, or I find him, and I ask him what he's got for sale, but also if he'd be willing to buy some equipment off of me as well, or we could do a trade.
Yeah, I love fair deals. He says his name's Brumir, and he, shakes your hand. He's like, what you got?
Oh, I'll start with what I have that I would be willing to sell. I have an old set of chainmail. If you would like to buy that off of me, if that piques your interest.
Who's got a PHB? It's right there.
It's 75 gold. It's worth 75 gold, and it's 55 pounds.
Okay. Yep. He'll buy that off you. I always use more chainmail when there's only 400 dwarves left. He grabs it and puts it aside. He's only got so much, but gold on himself.
That was just one thing that I was thinking about. I do have let's see, hold on. I do have 2 maces, standard, nothing too incredibly special, that I'd also like to offload off of me if you would be interested. If not, that is perfectly okay.
Yep, he'll take them. Yep.
Okay.
Any extra weapons and things like that, he'll definitely take.
Yeah, they're just 5 gold apiece. And aside from that, I'm curious now what he has in stock. Could be potions, could be scrolls, could be other bits of weaponry and so on.
He says, he's like, I've got a a very fancy spiked maul made of adamantine. This thing's called the Vicious Maul. He's got some boots that make you go really, really fast. They're called the boots of striding and springing. He's got some rings, but you want potions, and he kind of like digs around.
We just got 10 random potions. These could be great.
Yeah, you got those. He's got lots of cool stuff. He's got a fancy horseshoe. So he's got some iron bands, some breastplates, some armor. Like what's your price range?
Well,
80 gold.
80 gold. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad start to start right there. 80 gold's a lot, so let's start at 80 and we'll see where this goes. How about potions? You just was it him or was it somebody else who gave Plant this miscellaneous thing of potions?
It's the king and queen.
No
Oh,
potions.
the king and queen.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's got no potions.
Okay. Well,
He's got magical shields. He's got some pretty cool gauntlets and belts, but those are in the 1,000, 2,000 gold piece range. So he's got some high end stuff.
We're
and
quite
what was-
poor, like
Yeah.
really poor. This party.
Yeah.
what was the weapon that he was talking about earlier? The adamantine thing.
The Vicious Maul, yeah, it's 300
Yeah.
gold pieces.
Okay, that's out of the price range. I tell him,
You can always come back.
thank you.
He says,
Yeah, exactly. I'll think it over and I'll come back when I'm wealthier. But thank you for at least offloading some of the extra baggage that I was hoping to get rid of. And it's a
Hey.
pleasure doing business with you.
Well, that's a pretty nice plate mail. Probably help you swim someday. You never know when that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, fun.
I don't know. It looks nice. I feel like it can just go right through water like a speedboat. But nah, you guys don't know what that is yet, so it's all right.
Can't wait for you never to fight in water. All right, see ya.
Tim, question for you. We've got 2 rods of the Vonindod.
Yep. Ooh.
We only
Yeah.
need 1,
Yeah. Interesting.
right? We know there's a decent forge here.
Yes.
Can we do something with that forge and this massive rod of adamantine?
Okay. What do you want to do with it?
Thinking.
Make something useful.
What do you want to make?
Maybe some arrows.
Some breastplate.
What do you want to make? Yes, there is a pretty good forge here.
How much metal is, because this ring of Vonindod, you said it's like, what, 8 foot by like massive, like,
The Bonendad rod?
yeah.
Probably. Correct. It's big enough. Yeah. It's big enough. Think of a Marshall staff for a giant. It's big.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
And we've got 3 of them.
Oh,
Yep.
oh, dude, what?
So
Yep.
Or 2.
if we smelt down some of this
Yep.
with obviously all the magic that I can muster with all the fabricate stuff and all the various things.
With a montage with Parson Glaive.
Yeah, with montage stuff, I think.
Rolling up their sleeves. Ah, man,
What can I make that is useful for the party in terms of plate mails, in terms of various things? With magic, obviously, because I got really quite strong magic now.
I hate adamantine. Because it's made from adamantine, these rods, right?
Yeah, yep.
Silvery bulbs out, adamantine armor in, baby. Let's go.
What could you do with this? You
Silver
could probably
barbs.
sell them. You could
Hang on,
probably
let's-
sell these at a very high cost for trade.
See, silvery barbs can stop 1 critical.
How many do you want
Adamantine
to?
can stop all of them.
How many do you want to
Oh, we only want one. We only need one, so we can get rid of two. What
Get rid
can
of
he?
two.
What can he offer us in his wares that would have be equal value to about 12 ton of adamantine?
Okay.
Time for some math.
See,
Then we'll be done.
I'm not selling holy water now. I'm selling adamantine. See, this is safer.
I'm pretty sure they're interested in that though, but Dwarves bro, like, I want that.
Also, it's a bit of a less dodgier business, you know.
Nothing. We've had this conversation before, out of character. But what do you think?
Yeah.
Churches they sell holy water, so I'm just selling holy water.
Two
It's the same
churches.
Well,
Less than they
yeah,
can, but I sold it to them less than they can make it for, so they're making more profit, which is what they're there for.
true. But given some
The
places,
church is there
different
for
towns, and
profit.
cities.
You tell me, okay, show me a poor church.
What?
Well, technically mine because we don't have many.
We're
temples.
not doing this on the stream. Okay. Anyways, Dwarven Plate is you see them come out. You know, he walks away and he comes back and he hands out spiked, you know, gut buster Dwarven Plate for one of the rods.
I'm not.
Is it made of adamantine though?
No, it is absolutely not made of adamantine.
I think we're getting screwed.
Yeah. A party of 7? If it was a party of 4, maybe.
I'm like, oh.
And you're getting rid of 2 of them?
Yeah, but obviously I'm not. It's not just items from me. I can't just. I'm not doing a Blandina.
Oh man.
Man, you are spicy today.
What?
Don't break
I
up the
love
band.
What did I do?
I love that Blandita is a verb now.
It's not my listen. It's not my fault that particular shop just literally had everything that I needed.
You went into the shop that was like, spellcasters are us. I'm the only spellcaster. Give me all these spells.
I'm set for the
Please,
while.
Please, Blandina, can we please have some rations?
I only spent the gem that was 750 gold, worth 750, that I was wearing around my neck. It's all good.
And you want to give up the next one too?
Well, see what this was offer available for other people, or yeah.
Oh gosh. He does have some pretty OP stuff. All right.
Put you at 224 AC if you get Dwarven Plate. That's pretty nice.
There it is. You guys are already broken.
We're not broken at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Does anybody need any? Does anybody need any other plate mail? Because I've got a spare set going now.
Well, you got another cleric.
Yeah.
Not 3 clerics.
Never mind.
Do you want me to? I can do some adjustments on this and turn this into snake size plate mail for you.
Hiss would be very happy. He would be interested in Mithril if it's available, because he has not yet mastered the dwarves of exercising.
Yeah, there's Mithril.
figured the dwarves would be the best people to buy from, honestly.
All right, here we go.
I don't want that adamantine garbage. No.
That's only because you can't move when you got it on.
I mean, the penalties actually aren't that bad. It's just really awkward to imagine a character who's like, finally, I can take on anything. Just scooting along.
What do we have? All right, so your options are a Yep. Scale mail, dragon scale, blue dragon scale, splint of acid resistance, a +1 shield, a ring of the ram, or a mithril breastplate. Kind of lays them out. There's only 400 of us left, so we'd be willing to give up one of these. And if you return someday, we will try to craft these items into some armor. Per point.
Just for that guy. Dwarves only.
They want to keep it in the family.
It only comes in dwarven size. That's it. They have no...
Exactly. Yep. You guys hear the list?
So what do we need?
Shield, Ring of the Ram, mithril breastplate,
And are you looking to buy armor?
No, I'm not, I've got a set of plate mail now. I'm more than sorted.
Well,
dragon
if,
scale. The highest one would be dragon scale mail, blue.
I would be tempted to have that if I don't know how we're navigating this. If it's like a, I could also buy it from them separately with my own stuff.
Well, here's a question for you, Christopher. Would you be interested in, or would you be able to use like any form of scale mail?
Yeah, because the dragon stuff is scale mail, right?
Yep.
Well, I'm just gonna throw it out there that I do have a set of scale mail that I'm not using. So if
You had 2 pair of gloves this whole time? Yeah, the Rockies.
I collect goodies, okay? I'm a loot goblin. It's what I do. Okay, every D&D person knows they got like 10 wheels of cheese just in case they need to eat something while fighting, you know?
That's hilarious. That's a great reference. It just, I miss that game. Yeah, I think as for me, it's the draw of having a +1 with lightning resistance entices. But like I said, I have the finances to not take away from your guys making a trade. That I think I could make that a trade with my own stuff with this gentleman. So I will let you guys get your own.
But you are in the party, Christopher. You are.
But Christopher feels a sense of I wasn't there for the gotten struggles of your adamantine adventures, which are, by the way, would make you like a conqueror of a small country with what you've brought in. Christopher as a consultant is like, I don't want to take away. If there's only one thing coming through here, it's not going to go to me. It's got to go to you guys.
Well, my offer still stands that should you desire to have some type of scale mail to protect yourself and so on, you know who to come to.
Well, see if you can make a deal without. if you can afford it without it. See what you can do. We can,
right.
we can always keep one of these rods, these 2 rods in there, and use them at later dates.
True.
Yep.
Well, closes his briefcase.
I will lay
this
down.
deal is concluded.
I will lay down 1,000 gold, the amulet of the upside down star, my armor of my actually I have scale mail. I didn't realize scale melt, my own scale melt armor, and the leaf blessing that is magical bless, and slide them and just say, for that armor, there.
He grabs that leaf and he puts that in his pocket and he slides the blue dragon scale mail over to you.
All right. Subtract all that stuff from my inventory. He accepted all of it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I lean into Quint.
What a
I go,
deal!
where did he get all that money?
I told you I'm an enterprising businessman. I run my own trading company. No one ever takes me seriously. You think I'm handing out cards for what, my health?
He's a grifter.
I'm not a grifter.
Neither am I.
Would a grifter wear this armor and you see me like anime pose now?
You're the
Here's the starting
peace sign
goal.
that what the hell is her name?
Sailor Moon.
Yeah, you do the Sailor Moon pose. You're like, and it's just like, yeah, that's a grifter.
That's
All
too
right.
far anime for me.
I
Yeah, I just hang out with Naruto.
Naruto's solid. That's amazing. All right.
Okay. Does before I do this, does anybody need anything? Because obviously I've got a set of plate mail that I can turn into various other metal items and stuff. If anybody needs anything made of metal, I can just produce it for you guys.
You make some silvered arrows?
Yes.
All right. I've got silver and I've got arrows.
Weirdly, I don't even need either of that. I just need a little metal thing. It just does it for me
Okay.
with magic.
You got an app.
Oh, there's an
Got an app for that. Yeah.
There's an app for that.
But
It's called Puent's the app. I'm an AI.
Sick. Okay.
In that, actually, the question is: do we need? If we don't need this armor that I've got, and we can just need a bit, we can do a bit of various things. Should we just sell this armor to this guy?
So did you accept the dwarven plate? Correct?
Oh, hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah! That was like,
That was like a. Okay. Yes. So then, yeah. I mean, we can make some of the gold back if he's willing to part with it.
yeah. My normal plate mail that I've got, which is 1,500. How much would he give me from my plate mail?
800?
what's normal plate?
1,500.
Yeah, he'll sell that back to you for 1,500. I mean, they're pretty stoked for you guys, like not letting them suffocate and die and have Felbarr fall for the third time. Like this dude was on his first check ride, and he's like, yeah, but they don't have much. They don't have much. They've got the one vendor, but you guys can,
Yeah, I've added that. I've added that gold to the party fund, by the way, guys. So that's all been put back into there. So we do have currently 1,825 gold pieces in our party fund.
if you guys are intending on heading to the spine of the world, right past this is kind of what you're gathering from Parson Glaive as he sits there. This is your last Circle K that you're going to see for a long time. Like, this is the last quick stop gas station. This is, you know what I mean? Like, he's got this backpack. He's got gold.
Do you have
What's up?
any warm weather clothes?
That we don't.
Cold weather clothes. Sorry, not warm weather clothes. Cold weather clothes.
Let me check. Let me see. Nope.
He looks in his briefcase. Just imagine cracking open the briefcase, closing it.
Just does this.
Well-
Nope. Clean out.
I take it from
Yeah,
where we're.
it sounds really difficult to get that stuff because if I hear from the Noynek and the Revengers, they had a really rough go of it for a long time, and apparently it's super difficult to get cold weather gear in the spine of the world. So noted.
You crash landed on a mountain.
The market is canon. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Amazing.
But if you make it to places like Bryn Shander, 10 Towns, you know, those places, I'm sure they've got stuff up there. But, you know, down here, been kind of balmy in this here cavern. So
I'll just heat metal my own armor. Then that'd be fine.
Level 1 heat armor.
Oh yeah, lowest level possible. Yeah.
that's not going to work.
Just cantrip. Just cantrip it.
Well,
Okay, so we need to go. We need to go to Sunderbar to drop the chests off,
Yes.
and then head.
And then to
Yeah, 'cause that's what we
Eye
need.
of Eye of the Allfather.
Yeah, I wonder how far. I wonder how far that is from here. All we know is the spine of the world, and that's a good few
Thunderbar?
days north. No, it's about 2 days. 2 days south to Sunderbar. We know that one.
Yep.
And then we got to go to the Eye of the World, Eye of the Allfather, whatever it's called. That's way up in the spine of the world. I wonder how long that's going to take us.
Ooh, I'd say 2 to 3 10 days. About 2 10 days to get there. 20 days. Yeah.
Nice. It's going to be a while. Okay.
Hi.
Could I also, whilst I'm here, because obviously it's my first time. It's my first time with a goat. Do I need to? Is there?
Oh,
Is there?
damn.
Is there? God, you're such a pervert. Right. God.
Someone clip that, please.
As a Mason, I've been there, but yeah. No.
Is there? Do I need any food or anything like that? Is there anything I need to take with me for this goat so I can the goats?
Yeah, they'll put saddlebags on and set that up. Eat. Well, what's next? That's the ultimate clip. That one's gonna get. I can't wait. I can't wait.
That one's gonna go viral.
Oh. Well, we need to get back up and see Harshnag and tell him what's happened and that the dwarfs are safe because he was worried about them. And then explain that we need to get to Sunderbar, which is obviously in the opposite way to where he wants to go, which could be fun.
Okay. You guys planning on heading back up, leaving Dwarfland? For the plan? Looking around the room.
Let's rock and roll.
Okay. I'll say as you guys begin to depart, we'll say hiss. You hear "Hey!" from the distance. Like as you guys are, everybody's lined up, everybody's going down the hall, but just as you are starting to turn a corner, a pockmarked faced dwarf with pitch black beard, woven in two, with 2 glass steel flails, walks up, and he's like, "Daddy's boy, over here."
Oh. You see, like, his actually, like, relieved to hear those words. I'm going to look back to the team and kind of just give them, like, the be right back. If everyone is within, like, is everyone within, like, audible range of this, or, like...
Yeah, the dude's very bold and doesn't seem to give a shit about subterfuge or anything like that.
I will will say, does this do it? Can I make an insight check to make sure this isn't like I'm being lured into the someone I know might owe money or some like vengeance stuff? Because this is pretty. Oh, okay, nat 20.
Yeah,
That's the
don't even worry
first
about
roll.
it. You know
Okay.
exactly who this is. You've probably trained with him a few times. This is Athrogate.
Okay, nice.
He's standing next to another dwarf that is wearing like leather armor. And you, with your nat 20, you've seen him in Everland before.
From Everland.
Athrogate is not from Everland. Athrogate is, you just know him as Athrogate.
Oh, okay. Who's from Everland?
The other dwarf that's with him.
The other dwarf. Okay, got it.
Came with you, but you didn't know, like, he was just sent with you from where you came from. You guys didn't talk much. But anyways, you know his name is Jasper.
Got it.
He's like, you walk over, got to stop sending messages on the snake. Your dad's been summoned to Mesobaronson. You have to talk to, the snake is talking to Camoriel now.
And I'm guessing Camoriel is. Oh wait, I have to I'm not talking snake. I keep thinking I'm talking snake right now in these moments because it's the only time I've ever communicated with the backstory. I guess it means Camoriel isn't on the level as much as we'd hope.
Never is. I don't care.
Well, thank you for the heads up. I
You're on your
appreciate
own.
it.
But you're on the right path. Find out as much as you can about this Eye of the All-Father.
Do we have a timetable? Or I know I'm. You might think I'm alone, but I'm actually with the best damn company money could never buy.
This looks like a good lot. I think you'll make your father proud. Keep it up.
Huh. Oh, if I cared about my father's pride, I might think about that.
All right, I'm done with you. And he just turns around and walks off and turns his back.
Can I offer you a song?
Turns his back to you and just like walks off.
Can I offer you a song for your journeys?
No.
Have some magical protection.
Just like it was loud enough for everybody to hear that.
All right. I return to the group and say, well, I've been spoiled by Point's manners. Unfortunately, not everyone here has the same aspect of regality.
I look down at that one and go, yeah, there's dwarfs and then there's dwarfs. That's a real battle rager there. He probably hasn't washed in a millennium.
So yep. Athrogate probably had a bad past, as you know, with your nat 20 there, but he does go back to the dwarves, and that's where this lore timeline is. Just so you guys can set you guys into where you're at in the Forgotten Realms, but there's that piece.
All right. So being outed like that, how does the party respond with the limited knowledge here?
Everybody's got their thing.
Yeah, I just want to see who I have to, what? Nothing. Nothing at all.
I don't know anything about Faerun except what I actually, the very limited that I've known. How long have we been going now? Like 3 months? Is that kind of...
How long is what?
How long have you been going for? Like
It's actually been 6
if anybody cares.
days.
52. Yep, so almost 2 months.
Day 52. Damn. All right.
Yeah, so I've only been in Faerun for, let's say, 65 days.
Okay, I will then look more meaningfully to Mirren, as I think, based on what I know about him, that there might be a sense of alarm or something of that nature.
Yeah, with the entrance into Felbarr and seeing the naked drow, the essentially handmaiden that occur, and just digesting like trying to figure out why they're here, why they're working with the Giants, hearing that piece about his father going to Men's of Brains, and I'm gonna have to confront him and be like, what are your intentions with the party?
Okay.
I'm gonna give you Drow sign language and say, we're okay, and that we could be on the same level if we talk somewhere else.
I want to say that's a bit weird. I know only a little bit of sign language, but I know this is weird.
Here's a fun one. Horny dinosaur. There you go.
There. So I'll see that, and so all right, we'll postpone this conversation, and that part we'll leave, but to the rest of the party, because I think only Blandina and Quaddle saw what they thought was a drow as we entered, and then they up and disappeared. So I'll have to broach that and say there may be not drow, but essentially the foe I'm trying to fell and wrest from the Underdark may have their hands with the Giants. So Loth at large may or may not influence us more than we need to be concerned about. So that you guys are tracking. That drow was no drow, but essentially a handmaid of Loth. It was they can take many forms, and that was just one of them. And so be on the lookout and see drows with red eyes. That's all I got. Not drows wearing dread helms with red eyes, but drows with naturally red eyes.
Tim, question for you: the dwarf that was in with the leather armor, was that the dwarf that tried to recruit me into the Zentrum? Okay, so as you, I sit there waiting. As the conversations, I see them sort of flicking the finger to each other with their sign language.
Well, can we say that you guys have dumbwaitered up and you guys are with Harshnag now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
totally.
So actually, what I'll do is I will go up in the dumbwaiter with Histofer.
Oh, okay.
So I've got 10 minutes of going up.
Better than going
in your new, battle
armored up.
Clean on
Polishing
the
our
how's
armor.
it go? Clean on the insect. I don't know. How does that
Yeah.
sound?
And I sort of go,
Yeah.
Cream.
what was that Zentrum talk? Why were you on friendly terms with that Zentrum?
There's a shout out.
Oddly friendly terms. But it seems that the Zents have a reorganized structure, a bit more leaning to the less antagonistic, hopefully altruistic things. I hate the Zent. I like what recent changes have done, but it seems that my family connections, and I'm going to really look at him and let my eye pupils kind of narrow into snake slits and just kind of relax that, and those kind of scales around my scalp and edges of my face are a giveaway to something draconic ancestry, but it's very clearly now going to paint the picture of everything has been very snake UNT. So
well, you can't, we are who we are, but if you're dealing with the Zentrum, there may be issues. They're untrustworthy. They are always out for their own goods. They don't care who they hurt or enslave on the way.
Fear not, Plant. I am who you think I am. I'm not going to deal with the Zentarum in any less way than I think anyone who has a sense of justice would. I'm with you on every point you've just made about them. The only thing I'm after is reorganizing the structure of power away from those who would use their connections more closely associated with my business interests to do harm. I will say this, I have still some cleaning house to do in my own organization. I hope you understand.
As I look into his eyes that are weirdly moving and doing weird things, and I'm trying to get a grasp of what's happening.
Are you
Can I
winking
do-
or blinking?
Yeah, can I do an insight check on him just to see if what he's saying here is truthful?
Yep. Roll against it. I mean, this is a.
Depends
I don't
if
like
he's being-
competitive checks.
No,
All
no,
right.
no. It depends if he's being
you roll the insight, and I'll tell you.
Yeah.
insight of hang on 21.
He seems
probably-
pretty forthwith. You get the sense that from the interaction that he was aware of Jasper, but they're not like close. Probably closer to that Athergate guy.
Yeah, and I say, you never told me you knew a battle rager.
What's a battle rager?
Dwarf spiky armor.
Oh, I didn't know there was a difference in nomenclature between spiky and non-spiky. I'm learning a lot about this world. This is the furthest I've ever been into dwarven territory, if I'm being honest.
Is the emphasis on food or fight?
Well, as long as you're on the level and you're good with us, we'll be good with you. If you need
I
a
let my
hand,
action.
if you need
Go
a
on.
hand with doing anything, we're here. We're not one for a ceremony. We just we help each other out where required. So if you do need a hand, just let us know.
I appreciate that point. I've seen your leadership on display most recently the last 24 hours. And as much as I love words, and you know about me, enough about me to know that I love my words, but actions. We are men of action. These are things that matter most when you got skin or scales on the line. I'm with you until something about my own journey might pull me away, or I go down fighting the good fight. But if anything does happen, things like this, people come up to me and say things that might alarm you, just know I'm trying to, like I said, take care of the family business. And it's not a pretty business.
Well, we all have our crosses to bear from our families.
Holy water to sell.
Holy water to grift.
They arrive up to the top of the dumbwaiter at this point, and you guys kind of Harshnag has fashioned while he was up there. He was staying busy, fashioned a rope for you guys to climb up that slate slit, and you guys pop up there. Sonya and Gwyn and Blendina and Quaddle, you guys have been up there in Mirren for a little bit. They're coming up the dumbwaiter. Harshnag, starts like you guys. We'll say you guys spent like a long rest down there. He's getting up and he rolls up his large bedroll and puts his axe up on his shoulder and he's like, "To the we going north?"
Yes.
Looking at every,
Yes.
you know what I mean. We're
No,
going north.
No.
we're not going north. Not yet.
Oh yeah, we have to go to Sunderbar first.
We have to get these chests to Sunderbar, but if you would please come with us, we'll go straight to the Eye of the World afterwards.
That works as long as we're heading there as quickly as possible. I understand I was around when they fell 2 frost giants, and just so you know, I'm not going to be welcome there. I had to go around it, so I'll stay here and come back here, and we'll head straight north.
Yep, sounds like a plan. Also, just to give you an update, the Felbarr dwarfs are fine down there. They are they're waiting now for their kin to return in 10 days.
They're a resilient lot.
Yep.
Wait,
And
he's not Scottish.
I've got 2 goats.
How did you get them
First
up here?
time?
Yeah, my very first time. My very first time with a goat.
Alrighty. Well, have a great trip. Bit weird.
A bit weird.
Yep. So you guys pack up. You take roughly, you head down the slope. You cross that T intersection where there would be the Hawk's Nest, and you see if you think of, what was it, Osgiliath, whatever, from Lord of the Rings, like it's wrecked. It looks like an old stone town from the distance, but it is just like it's got an above ground and a below ground. It's like the Mirabar of the east, but it has completely been sacked. You do see scaffolding and things like that up, and folks working. For the sake of this, how long do people want to stay in Sundabar? There's not much there, but you're able to give off this stuff. They don't have anything to offer you, but they graciously accept this.
To be honest, if we just go down there, give them the chest, Liberty Block back to Felbarr.
You guys want to have a
Doesn't bother me.
montage phase of going to Sundabar? Anybody else?
Just behalf of Lady Hawklight and the Order of the Gauntlet.
Okay.
Wages.
Okay. Yep.
Make sure we give it to the appropriate individuals.
Okay. As you guys turn back north, you make it to back to that T intersection, having done the good deed, and from a distance, you've taken rests and whatnot. From a distance, you see 5 griffins in the distance, and they land at the T intersection as if they were going to do a quick pass. Lady Hawklight is with them. They land in front of you guys. Lady Hawklight, there's four knights. They dismount and they walk up to the party and beckon Gwyn and Mirren to come forward. Lady Hawklight thanks you so much for handling your task, and appreciates what you did for the Order of the Gauntlet. She's like, you've done right by the Order of the Gauntlet, and as we promised, are you ready to be knighted as a Marchand in the Order of the Gauntlet? And is anybody else who's a priest or a paladin like to be entered into the Order of the Gauntlet?
Accept this charge and only regret that we could not save anyone that was with that caravan. It was just the wages when we arrived.
We'll move what we have left of the Griffin Riders, and we'll bring them back. But we appreciate at least this area being cleared for the present time. You guys go back and forth about the fire giants, and they know that they've got a few moments of reprieve, and are excited the fact that you were out there actively confronting what's going on with the ordning. Does anybody want to, she says, everybody's got their agency. Does anybody want to take the charge of becoming members of the Order of the Gauntlet? The only requirements are being a paladin or a priest, at least at one level. Nope. But it's
What does it entail?
Yeah, I was going to ask, what are the details?
Yeah, you have to, seek justice and, help the weak and, knightly things, as they say.
And sell holy water.
Do not do that. This guy, yeah. They're like points.
These guys are pretty straight and narrow, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna probably avoid being too confined there.
Very straight and narrow crew. Yep.
Yeah, I respect it, and I see Mirren as like the paragon of that in many ways. But yeah.
Gwyn?
I obviously have stepped forward with Mirren. I kind of do a little bit of a bow or a nod to her, telling her that it was a pleasure to lend aid to you and your people in your trying need. And I guess I too would like to take up being a part of the Order of the Gauntlet as well.
So she nods to a knight on her right. There's another woman, and they both ask you to kneel. You know, as she puts like one sword on the left hand shoulder of Mirren, she says Marchand, as the lady in front of you says Chevalier. Chevalier Gwyn and Marchand Mirren. Marchand of the Gauntlet. Faith is your potent weapon, your most potent weapon against evil. As she taps your left shoulder, she moves to the other side. Great challenges require heroic demonstrations of both strength and valor. And then she moves to the other shoulder. It is justified to punish an act of evil, but not thoughts or feelings of such. And that's like the indoc for Marchand of the Order of the Gauntlet, and they say rise, Marchand, Mirren, and Chevalier, which is French for knight, but it's in the lore book for the First Order of the Order of the Gauntlet. They look around, and the knight that's with her, she asks her to jump on the back of this griffin, and they offer you 2 griffins as they march them up to you guys, and they're like, we hope this can help you on your journey, but this is all we can offer in our humble order and what we've got left of our troop at the Hawk's Nest. But you guys have done us a great deed. You've done Sundabar a great deed. You guys are the grifters of Everland no more.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Now you are the grifters of Sundabar. Congratulations.
As they get awarded this, and I sort of nice and loud. 3 cheers for Mirren and Gwen.
Yeah, and the knights, they raise their swords up, and they go back to the somber thing of, you see where they took the broadswords of the knights, they stick it in the ground, and they place their helms on the broadsword of the 4 or 5 knights that were left there in the original battle, and then they do a somber prayer to Helm, Torm, and Tyr, and you guys kind of like go on your way. Harshnag is here's me like whoop, 4 days pass by, and Harshnag is waiting for you guys. I do have goat minis and your griffin minis available, but you guys should all be mounted at this time. Not that Harshnag can fly, so darn it.
I will mount Harshnag.
The 2 griffins hold a Harshnag? No, they cannot. Yeah.
I shall mount my griffin.
All right. Yep. So you got yourself first time, but yeah. So, and then you guys, you've got those 2 mounts. You've got the war mounts, the war goat mounts, and yeah, should be pretty well saddled up. They've got full tack saddlebags. They don't have any armor like the goats do, though. They're built for speed. And they come with 2 lances each.
What, the goats or the griffins?
The griffins.
Just checking.
They do, on like their chest plate, they do have like the Order of the Gauntlet symbol. That's about it. Nothing that'll raise their AC or anything, but they look fancy. There you guys are. Now, this is all you. You're at. You guys are kind of familiar. I've dropped some maps in.
So I'll say to Harshnag, what's the best route to get to the eye of the world? We do, from what our other party was saying to us, it's bloody cold up there.
It's bloody cold.
Is there any larger cities that we can go to on the way? I know you might not be welcome there, but if we can go and just get some more warm provisions, because we haven't got anything down here.
We can make it to Mirabar.
Yeah, Mirabar should have something because they're on the right on the spine of the world, aren't they?
We could stay at the Hawk's Nest. Zymorvan Hall is owned by a knight Lord Zymorvin, and then straight to Mithril Hall. If we could get to Mithril Hall, we could take the tunnels to Mirabar. But yeah, we could move along that way. Just follow the Robin River all the way. Yeah, just through just south of the forest there, the Lurkwood, or we could hit the. That's however you want to go. Like he would prefer going straight to the spine of the world, and then
When you say Zymorthan Hall, I'll turn to the party and go, wasn't that where Harthos Zymorthin was? He said he was a giant slayer or something. We picked up some information. We picked up some information when we were in Everland.
Yep, supposed to be a weapon.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to get.
in Zymorvin Hall.
Yeah. It's something about his relatives were giant hunters or something, or said he was a giant hunter or something.
The lady with the big dogs, and she's like, "There's the weapon there. We should go and get for giants."
Was it Zymorvin?
Recall it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that name ring a bell from my my brain.
Your dwarven brain.
Yeah, or my notes that I scrolled back on hurriedly.
That's how I imagine. That's accurate.
So you guys want to take the route that goes by more peoples?
Well, no, we don't really want to. Obviously, Harshnag doesn't particularly want to go that. We want to go the most direct route. But we really,
He's
to be honest,
comfortable with people, but he will stay outside of towns. He's not going to
That's
go
fair.
in with you.
because all we want to do basically is get as fast as we can to the Eye of the World, so the Eye of the All-Father, but we need to pick up some warm clothes on the way. I don't really care how we get there. If that means we can go to a couple of the places that we have earmarked or knew about on the way, all the better. But from my visions with Moradin, he said get to the Eye of the All-Father, so...
I would agree that getting clothes to stay warm would be really important. Right. It would be really important to get it because you don't know what we're going to face and how long we're going to be there in that, in that environment, and it could really slow us down, if not, cause us, some interesting problems along the way. So I'm personally for getting winter gear just to be on the safe side, because it's better to, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, kind of deal. So I'm just trying to think about it reasonably or logically, but I understand the urgency of getting to where our frost giant friend wants to go, but I leave it up to the rest of you guys. I'm okay with going and getting that gear.
We have one thing we can use, though. Blandina, contact the other party and ask them what they recommend for cold weather gear up in the north. They've been, they should know.
Within a day, you could get a response. A day's travel, easily. And then you got to go kill...
Yeah, like
well, I mean,
I'll send a message, and Bork says, you have to kill Yetis. And
well,
hey,
to be fair,
if you come to where we're at, there's actually a bunch of Yetis here that we're gonna have to fight.
Yeah. So you'll already have what we need.
That's true.
I was going to say that if we are going into a cold place and we don't get the gear, I mean, I'm pretty sure Blandina's pumpkin spice lattes will keep us warm enough.
No.
You can get cold weather gear at Mirabar, or any other larger town. Zymorvin Hall is a keep, you know that. Mithril Hall will most likely have it as well. You know that the Eye of the Allfather is closer to Mirabar, which is roughly a 10-day away, we'll say.
I think we need to head to... Is Zymorvin Hall on the way to Mirabar?
Say it's a halfway point.
Yeah, so I think we go to the hall first and then go to Mirabar. Unless there's any objections. He's en route. Be rude not to.
We already lost one slaying weapon. Might as well get another weapon of slaying something, and then use it. So,
but we got rid of that weapon.
No.
But the interesting thing about it is, if a bit of history, never tell Tim you got rid of that weapon.
Oops.
Mainly because Tim's just found out that he is from that line of the person who had that sword that you got rid of.
No.
Wow.
Oopsie poopsie.
Oopsie poopsie.
Getting rid of? No, it was sacrificed to revive an ally. Yes.
I mean, but it's it's in the
Gods now.
it's with the gods. It can always pop back up. That's the best part about that stuff. It can boop. It can boop. Yeah, it can boop around. All right. So what's the plan?
So, design Morbid Hall to get a weapon that may aid us in our solving of this ordning problem. And,
Okay.
We can head up north.
So you guys have the opportunity to get to Zymorvan Hall. You'll have to go through Silvery Moon, or at least close to it as you come out of there.
Yeah, well,
But
we're not go-
a longer route, which is around the mountains.
We got told to avoid Silvery Moon after our.
You don't have to go into Silvery Moon. You can go around it. But I'm saying you'd have to go through its area.
Well, listen.
Yeah, we'll do that.
The poundage of a griffin. We have 2 of them.
Oh boy, well, that's phrasing right there.
The poundage of a griffin.
There's seven dudes. You can't all get on there with Harshnag. The issue, I would say, for speed is Harshnag, but you've got that athletics ability, do you not?
Yeah, I do. The alacrity or velocity. Yeah, I guess the round.
Is that double movement?
No,
almost?
That's 10 movement.
Okay.
My,
right.
my giant goats can move a lot faster than I can. It's brilliant. They move twice.
I'll say you can get there within 8 days if you use that constantly.
We'll just have to move in a circular formation. I'll be the center. Everyone stay within 5 feet.
Yeah, griffins can walk. Like, yeah, they got legs.
Feet. Hover, row.
All right.
Yes.
So the plan is picking up and moving.
Yep.
All right. Big RP session. Sorry, everybody out there. Yep. So you. I mean, this will be good. So you hit the Hawk's Nest. You stay there. Anybody want to do anything there within a half a day because you guys are cruising with your alacrity. You can keep pressing to Silvery Moon and make it in 2 days. So montage. This is like the Indiana Jones where it hits the red dots.
In the nest, have they got any healing potions for sale?
No, they used them all up with the troop that got ambushed.
Yeah,
sorry
I was wondering if they got any more restock since we've been gone.
And they used all the cold weather gear as bandages.
Do they have any wool? Do they have any wool blankets that we could?
Fresh out.
Oh, okay.
Wait, that guy has them. He's running away. Sudden chasing.
What do you guys, how do you guys feel about getting the spell fly before we head up into the?
I already have it.
Same. As an Asmar, I can fly as well.
No.
Yeah. This.
Well.
Dwarfs can't fly.
And they shouldn't.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. I mean, it would be pretty cool to toss a dwarf.
I'm basically asking if I can use some of the money to buy some components to copy another spell.
More in your repertoire is another chance of us saving.
I'm trying to do the less expensive ones now.
Is it more than one? Is it more than £1.50?
It's $150.
Okay.
Just the reluctance. Can't you just kill someone for it like other wizards? Come on.
It's $150.
We can put you on an installment plan. It's fine.
Just the debt owed at the end of the campaign is in the credits.
Like, I'm a princess with no money. This is great.
You're not a princess here.
I
In your
know.
own world, you might be, but
I
not here.
know that.
I think
When-
you should just let it go at this point. Let it go.
Yay.
Hawk's Nest, I'll have to.
All right, then I'll
find
add.
some-
So the 3 other spells that I could add are Cone of Cold, Greater Invisibility, and Misty Step.
Ooh, those are really good. Damn.
Yeah.
Greater
Definitely one that
invisibility-
I would do without asking, but yeah.
Greater
Run.
invisibility is really nice.
Right, but I don't.
Imagine a rogue as greater invisibility. That would be like Tim's
Dude.
worst nightmare.
Our Sonya does not need it. That's the scary part. Is she gets like worse with greater invisibility.
So I haven't done those yet because they're higher levels and they're like 200 to 300 gold to copy them over. So I'm holding off on those for the moment.
You need to earn some money on your what was that only Flands only Flanderans?
Only Fandolin.
Only Fandolins.
Oh my god. Well,
Oh no, I've been subscribed to the wrong thing. I'm on Only Grands, and it's not been good.
Well, onwards to Zental's Keep.
All right, so you're leaving Hawk's Nest. Not yet.
Whilst I was at Hawk's Nest as well, if there's anyone needed healing and stuff, because I can just use as many spells as I can, just going to make sure people are recovered as much as they can be.
You need so before you leave, and for Gwyn as well as all Order of the Gauntlet folks are, if you are looking to continue in the Order of the Gauntlet, your next charge is freeing the world of the stone giants and clearing the south. If you can manage that, come back to we'll find you, and you can. We don't know where the dead stone clefts are, but if you can bring justice to the stone giants, or then you shall receive your next step in the Order of the Gauntlet that I don't have off that dead stone clefts.
Okay.
I'll talk to Mirren and say that sounds a lot more possible than the fire giants.
Hopefully the Deadstone Cliffs are somewhere near Side Moving Hall. We'll figure it out. We have at least now 7 places we have no idea where they're at.
We've got lots
You
of
know where you can
names.
find out where these places are at? The Eye of the Allfather. Huzzah!
But before we depart, since we're in a area of relative safety and amongst friends, I'm gonna find a moment to have Hiss alone, if that exists,
Yeah.
Yes.
to because I'm not the most perceptive. I'm gonna let him know I'm doing this, but I'm going to pop the zone of truth and be like,
Oh, okay.
let's have a discussion.
Sounds very paladin-y.
So he wants a charisma save of 14 to decide if he wants to pass or not. I will know if he passes or fails, and then the conversation go from there.
So- you can willingly do the Zone of Truth if you.
Yeah, I willingly fail, I think.
Okay.
Or do I? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I willingly fail.
or two.
Or do I?
All right. So, are we, I guess, in a place where we're within earshot to where we need to do the hand language? So that, I'll keep it in that because
I prefer it, yeah.
that
Yeah.
language at the moment that I'm aware of. It may be weird, but I'll talk it over with anybody if they care to know. But so it's all in the hand signals and say that dwarf obviously came across quite loud, and there was no getting away from that. He said your father had the Menzo brands in, and there's not many that choose to go there willingly. What is
I don't know if my father went there willingly. That's the truth.
What's your intent with the party is what I am trying to gather. But now
Well,
the coincidences of Drow showing, not Drow, but Handmaiden guy mentioning Menzo Bryant, then you knowing, obviously you had some slight feature that I figured I wouldn't be racist and be like, oh, that guy looks Drowish. But I was left that alone. But you have the hand signal, so I was like, okay, now it's apparent
yes,
that there is
that's
some connection.
yeah. That was me being open with you, trying to show you that you're not the only one out here with a discriminated past, and that if you ever need to talk, we have a way. I learned from my father who taught me. I have been fortunately blessed with such unusually mixed parentage that I don't really take after my dark elf half ancestry.
Well, so I won't delve too far into the past, as that's your to release when you want to. It's more of a, I guess, to know that you're on the same path as us and aren't trying to thwart what we're doing. Is what I'm.
I know when we first met, I saved your life. You were being dragged behind your horse, and it was my healing spell that brought you back.
Indeed.
It wasn't an act of tactical positioning to win favor with your legendary status as a warrior. We were all very much in danger then, and needed you, and you showed up with a mightiest swing, and that opened a door for me to understand that you are of rare power, and as I've understand that the wheel turns, and as long as it has many spokes working together, it will not break so easily, no matter how hard the road. I'm here because of you. Your people, your peers. They've been very unusually open-minded, and I'm hoping to help the world free itself of whatever chaos and lack of order has fallen. Giants, dark elves, and other things. I spoke with Puent on the way up from the lift. He asked me about some concerns, understandably, and I will offer you the same truth. You may hear things that might make me suspect, and it is because I'm associated to a business that I'm trying to turn towards a more benevolent cause. There's still some bad seeds in that business, and all of it I've inherited from not just one but two sides of my family, which are, as you might understand, being Drow, more of an alliance of function than of nuclear family bonding love.
I digested all that, and I'll offer this as long as his goals and what he's striving for aligns with ours. He has my help, and I'll be here for him. He did and is already owed by the party for what he's done for us, and I'll continue to support him as needed and give him a good old boom boom.
This was all in sign language, and then you guys kind of like high five.
Can you imagine watching that?
My sister is. I don't know. Anyways, okay. Well, you guys kind of watched that awkward moment kind of pass. I Gwen, did you accept the charge for Deadstone Clef as well? Nice. Okay.
I did.
All right. You guys move past the Hawk's Nest as we were. You guys want to skirt around Silvery Moon about, around the evening. You guys camp roughly, a few hours past Silvery Moon without any incident. You wake up in the morning, you pack your stuff up. Stop me if anybody wanted to do anything along the way.
Where is this?
Tallgrass, kind of Tribor-ish type area. There's swampland to your south, the Moonwood to your north, but it's not forested at all. It's like open plain on the road. It's next to a river called the Ravin River, kind of popular river. You guys, you get up. I'm trying to describe. We got 2 griffins with 2 dudes in full plate. We got who's riding the other goat? Or you just have 2 goats?
2 goats.
If anybody wants to ride a goat, let me know.
Make a goat chariot.
I'll ride a goat just for the optics, because it'd be funny.
Just a goat, just chilling.
I will ride the goat.
Blandina's got the other goat.
Blandina's on a goat. Nice. Okay. It's a taller, thinner goat, we'll say, and that's Goat Dina. And Point. We have horses for Sanya and Hiss, and you have an accent.
My horse is dead. From the last battle, I am horseless.
I think you got a steed.
I will do find steed for him and.
Nice.
That's legit. That is so legit.
But Sanya had a horse, right? I thought.
We did have some horses.
Yeah, okay. One remaining horse, we'll say, throughout this stuff, but we'll stop it there because these things cost money. But you guys are all mounted, flying around if you want to. You're gonna keep walking because you got the Griffin, right? And you want to keep the alacrity going.
Yep.
You guys are moving out at a clip, which you've noticed, because no one is outwardly saying like, "Hey, we're trying to move protective and keeping our awareness." As you guys are traveling down the road, the river's off to your left. You guys are moving around. We'll say, Quaddle, you're always in the front. As you're moving, you hear, like, awfully bold of you to slaughter one of our cousins. And you kind of stop, and once again, above you, you see waving in the air, some sort of wealthy looking dressed merchant. You see a tree line off to your left. You hear some water rustle on your right. From the water come out 2 tall, like large red demonic looking creatures. They've got hands on the top and pincers on the bottom with 4 hands. You see one on one side of the party, one on the other, and from the distance you hear as bolts or something start shooting from the opposite tree line. And that's where we'll pick up in the next session as the Margasters strike back.
And this is why demon summoning's bad.
This is why. Hey, these are devils, clearly. Misnomer, sir. How dare?
I think glabs are demons, but yeah.
Do you know how you fight devils with demons? So we summon a greater demon, and boom, done.
So next session there'll be actual fighting, Jesse. Sorry. Yeah.
You fight demons and devils with holy energy.
Thanks, Mike.
Why not both?
So on 2 June we'll be back for this session, and then next weekend we're up at the Frost Giants.
I did want to I didn't want to interrupt the flow of going from night to day, but I did want to do the usual thing every morning I do, which is offer the protection of my snake powers with the loot. If anyone wants it, you don't have to have it. If it doesn't vibe in it's always going to be the same: protection against poison and advantage against poison. if you want it. If not, I save a charge. Just let me know
also
somebody-
want. I also want to join them. Like if it was going against like his message. Right?
No,
too late-
no.
it's
Yeah,
too-
definitely
it's-
lawful good tenants.
The message you
Yeah.
get in your head is it's too late now. You've done it.
Oh shit!
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
There is no Paylor. There's only Zool.
Oh my god! The plot twist of all plot twists. So
All right, who are we gonna raid here? Let's see.
How about Distal? Distal's
Oh,
place?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
raise your hand if you want protection from poison, so I can mark it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, cool. 4 charges gone.
The greatest fear.
It's one of the things where you run out of charge and it blows up on you.
No, it's just one of those things where I always like to have a charge left so I can fly, just in case you all die.
You get time to eat the bacon, which
All
is
right.
always
I like to be the guy who
shorter.
tells the
Everybody,
story.
thanks for
My last
showing up.
adventuring group were Grifters of Holy Water.
Go to
And
Distal's place. They're awesome.
yeah, stick around for the raid here in a second, and we'll see you all next week. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.